Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to What the Duck. This is episode 50. It's April Fool's 2020. We're back again. We're on par for about 3 podcasts this year, and we're feeling good about it. Sunsfan, Sir Action Slacks, and Trent, thank you for being here. Purge couldn't be bothered.
Wow.
He's moved back to Wisconsin, and apparently that has interfered with all podcasting activities. So
the guy's busy.
Amigos. Yeah, he's
what do you
busy.
want from him? Have you ever moved, Zyori? It's a fucking pain in my ass.
I have.
I hate it.
I haven't an hour to spare.
Has anybody ever moved back to Wisconsin before? That's what I really want to know.
They
Usually
were probably
you move
shocked
away.
when the people heard. They were
Pretty sure it's a
confused.
net
Oh, we were
negative
just
over there.
bulldozing that house down. What do you mean you want to move in?
Someone's returned. Who is it?
I mean, talk about timing, though.
The town crier is running through the streets. Kevin returns. It's Kevin. He's brought a woman.
We have another. Yeah, Wisconsin's a hellhole. Short and sweet, everybody.
I've never been there. I've never known anyone from Wisconsin outside of Purge. I don't know
Well,
what they do there.
If that's Purge's planet, then I can only assume what people are like. So I've also never been there, but sweet Jesus, if that's where he spawned from,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go.
He would be one of the charismatic, exciting ones that went to pursue the Hollywood life of LA.
He was the best they had.
What timing, though? He left basically right before ESL LA got canceled and then turned into an online league in his backyard. And we've got regional leagues coming up in 2020, 2021. I guess he'll be casting it home from Wisconsin.
You know,
Whoops.
real talk, I feel bad for the guy. Before that event happened, I don't know how much I could talk about this, but before that event happened, we had some plans. We had some stuff going on for ESL LA. And I was laughing about it because I was like, wow, this situation's getting real fucked up. And he's like, can we just not joke? All I want in this world is just for ESL LA to do well. I just want one LA tournament in North America to do well. So please don't joke. And then it got fucked harder than any tournament I have ever seen. I actually feel bad about it. He was very passionate about that tournament.
Well, yeah,
Feels
it's
I'm just sick
terrible.
of traveling to Europe for every single tournament.
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
So how's the quarantine, boys? How's everybody holding up? Locked inside? Sunsy, how are the restless legs, dude? You been jogging? What's going on?
I take pills for those now, so I'm good to go.
Oh.
I've
Take
been-
pills? What?
Yeah, I take pills for. Apparently, they're usually prescribed for people with Parkinson's, but they
Jesus.
really kick. They really kick the shit out of my restless legs, so I've been doing great in that.
What?
Okay, that got
Who
more
gave
real
you
than I
these?
thought it
How
would.
did you get these?
A doctor prescribed me. Apparently, it's very small dosage. Okay, it's not like
No.
I'm taking a normal amount for a Parkinson's person. But
No, you're going to give yourself Parkinson's. What are you
I
doing?
don't think that's. It's not
That-
like
that's
a
not how
vaccine
it
where you have a little bit
That is
of,
how it
the,
works.
of the problem.
I'm not
It's getting
consuming
shots of
Parkinson's, okay? not consuming the disease, thankfully.
Oh, listen, you
Don't have to
fucking
worry about
idiots. Who here has a neuroscience degree? Okay, if you give the brain chemicals, and you
When was
teach
that?
it.
A decade ago?
Yeah, that's true. If you give the brain chemicals, you teach it not to produce those own chemicals. All right? If you're giving your brain the chemicals it needs to prevent Parkinson's, you're gonna end up with Parkinson's when you're off the pills. You're lifing on that shit, baby. You're lifing.
I've been taking less lately, actually. I've been weaning myself off a bit.
It's over. It's too much. It's over. You've taught the
But-
brain it doesn't need to make it. You're fucked.
I don't know about
my
you guys. I have, during this quarantine, I've been extremely busy reading through all the company Corona emails. It's always
Oh my
very
God.
interesting to remind yourselves what company sites you've been to and what you've subscribed to, because they sure send a lot of fucking emails. Let me tell you.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
gotten at least like 80 different companies. I had no idea I was a part of their.
Some of them are
email
pretty
chain.
funny. Comcast keeps letting me know. Don't worry, we're keeping the internet germ-free. Okay, boys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're
There's
all
some
very
that-
insightful. You know.
I legitimately have no idea how they even have my email. Like I can email from the NHL. I don't have NHL TV. I don't have anything.
Hey, you bought some
I don't
jerseys.
know. But I guess
You're
I'm
Canadian.
just Canadian. They were just like, we better let them know. I was like, all right, well, thanks, guys.
There's probably like 2 Canadians that aren't signed up for that shit. So they just, went for a blanket.
Now,
I gotta admit, the best one I saw, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
was Patreon. I got a Patreon email the other day. Subject title, let's cut the bullshit. And I'm fucking like, oh my God. One of my Patreons is very mad. And then no, it's just like, we love you over here at Patreon. I'm like, what? Is no one going to get offended by this? Yeah, imagine
They
if I
actually
said
said
fucking
bullshit, or is that just you paraphrasing?
No, it legitimately
okay.
said, let's cut the bullshit. That was the subject line. My heart was fucking pumping. Who would send an email like that?
What's the
I
whole
felt like
point?
an old lady. I was like, oh my goodness, Vic, you used the word bullshit. My God, no.
You got dude. They hit you with the clickbait. That's the only
I
way
read the whole
Patreon
email.
can get you to open emails.
It's true.
That's true.
That's how I'm going to send all my emails from now on. Let's cut the bullshit. How you doing?
Maybe that's why I haven't been closing any sponsorships recently. All right, but wait, let's cut the bullshit. All right. Now, have you guys been trusting takeout in the quarantine? That's been my big curiosity. So, have you resorted to cooking? You and Slacks? Or are you guys still just getting the old Chinese food like it ain't no thing?
Who's you and Slack? Sorry.
You.
Me. Okay, just
The only
checking.
two that don't cook in the fucking call. Trent and I both cook.
I don't know that Trent cooks. I have no idea. Anywho, no, actually, I've been on a strict diet. It actually aligned perfectly with the coronavirus. It's a soup diet. It's been really difficult to find soup. So that
You're
was
still on
unfortunate.
that. You're still on that.
Okay, my friend went on a diet. Okay, let me just tell this story. You guys know Spawn, right?
Oh,
He's a nice young lad. He yo-yos a bit in weight, just like me. But recently he had lost most. Yeah, that's the term from Curb. I've been using it quite often.
It's very accurate. Yeah.
But he had lost pretty much all his weight for like the last year and a half. And then I saw him in like January. We hung out, blah, blah, blah. Everything was cool. Saw him 1 month later. He was fucking obese again, just all out of nowhere. And I let him have it. You know, I was being a good friend. I made fun of him for the entire duration of our visit together. To let
I
him
didn't
know
say it
that
in
he
a
got
caring
really
way
fat.
and how I cared about his health. I just mocked him relentlessly our whole trip.
What up, chaps?
People thought that I went a little too ham, but we're good friends, so it's okay. You know. So needless to say, I saw him a month later, and he had lost most of the weight, and I was shocked how fast he could lose the weight. And he told me the diet that I am now kind of on. He eats soup, broccoli, and cheese. That's it. And
Diets
water,
work
just
really
water.
well when you're kind of on them.
But
I'll tell you that.
Can't
But-
soup be like anything? Couldn't you make anything into a soup if you just boil it? Like, are there any other parameters? Just if it's liquid based,
It's
you're
just a
good?
rock in a pot.
Hot liquid.
I don't understand.
My
A
sugar
tasty
soup.
liquid. Tasty liquid. I don't know, just canned soup. It'll
What?
keep it.
You're
keep
just
it pretty
eating
simple.
chowder all day? How is that a diet?
No, I have one can of soup a day, and then I have a salad, and then just water. That's pretty much all I eat the entire. And
I
some
mean, you
fruit
look pretty good.
occasionally.
I'll admit, it's working.
I haven't weighed myself because every time I do, I lose motivation. So I'm not going to do shit for a month.
But do you
we'll see how
feel
it
good?
goes.
That's the real question.
I feel
cares?
great. Haven't left the house in days. I take my vitamin D pills.
Oh
so I
wow,
don't
you're
have to
not
see
leaving the
sun.
house.
Hey.
I see your life has changed.
5,000 IUs. You know, we're good
Yeah.
to go, man.
Dude, I took
Attaboy,
two
attaboy.
5K IU vitamin Ds this morning. Hell yeah, Sunsfan.
But to answer your question, I've only done takeout because I've been on a strict diet. I haven't eaten out at all, other than Chipotle, which I've been having once every week. That's my limit.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep fucking it up because they're supposed to deliver it through whatever the service is. And I can never
DoorDash.
find my fucking house. It comes cold. But the good side is I at least get them for free. I complain and I get them for free. So I got free meals that I just have to reheat.
What a
And
wild
yeah.
world.
Nothing's changed really.
Well, good thing you saved that
Getting
$10
free
on the
food.
Chipotle. Glad to hear you're still doing well, bud.
Thanks.
They get lost, so it's free. That's quite a strategy, dude.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with them.
How about you,
It's a
Slacky?
complicated. You know me. I don't know. I ate out all the time before. I can't cook. Now my wife's home. This is hard to say. I know people are dying, so I don't actually mean it, but Corona might be the best thing that ever happened to me. My life has not changed. I play video games all day. My wife is home with me. She cooks me meals. She brings them down. I just grind Dota. I work from home. I don't have to go to any offices or do any stupid bullshit anymore. It's just all video conferencing. I love it. It is very sad though for everyone. Not me though.
Wow, you really saved it with the bookend there.
You know, if we could name these episodes, this would be the episode where the coronavirus was the best thing that ever happened to Slacks.
Yeah, I don't see the negatives. My parents, they don't want to talk to me right now. They don't want to visit me. They're afraid. I don't have to leave the house. I just game all day. It's fucking God tier. I know people are dying, so I'm trying to be very mindful of that. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
But I love it.
But God, it's paradise.
I don't know if Slacks has the strongest immune system in the world or the weakest, because I think about half the times I've interfaced with him, he's had the worst sinus infection of his life. And you've had at least 5 of those that I can remember. Like, oh, God, I can't breathe. Every time you travel, you come back.
But he touches a lot of people at the same time. Yeah. It's kind of impressive that, you know, you're not usually worse for wear.
Exactly.
It's the blow. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. At events, I touch a lot of people. Trent's right. I really go into it. I'm in the crowds and shit. I'm a hugger. So I was ready for ESL LA. When that shit popped off, I was ready to I didn't care. Give me the corona. I wanted another one. I had the swine flu. I survived. I think it makes me a badass. I wanted corona too.
What did you have at
it's not too late.
What did you have at the PAX artifact where you looked really sick and you were just completely out of it, had absolutely no energy. You went back to your room, had a fart attack, just slept for 10 hours, and you were good to go again.
I don't know what that was, but that was something I'll never forget. That was the most violent thing that's ever happened to me. So the short and sweet is I felt really, really bad. I could hardly talk, hardly move, was laying in my bed, and I had the most fucking insane fart of my life. It was so violent. The last thing I remember was I screamed and then I fainted. It was the only time in my life I've lost consciousness. I went, I farted, I went, ah! And then I was just out.
You farted yourself unconscious?
I thought I died, and I woke up the next day, and I was fine. I don't know what was in me, but it turned into a fucking airborne disease, and it left.
That was the beginning of coronavirus right there. Jesus Christ.
I've never had anything like it. I literally have never lost consciousness. Well, 2 times I've lost consciousness. That and when I got electrocuted. That was it.
That's literally what my 2-month-old does. He screams, and you're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he goes... And then he just passes out. You're like, oh, he had a gas pain. So you, a fucking man baby, had yourself a little gas pain.
It wasn't. I felt sick. I almost cried too. It was horrible. My God. But yeah. I mean, it's very weird. The world of Dota and the world of all this is weird right now. But I don't like to complain. We have it better than probably anyone else in the world right now. We work in fucking electronic esports right now. All the fucking boomers are trying to figure out how Zoom works. That's like our life.
Yeah.
Just wait till they figure out Discord. Oh my God, they're gonna freak out.
I texted my dad today and offered to send him a gaming console, and he just replied, "I'm good."
He'll get there. 4 more months. He'll get there.
I mean, what do you if you don't play video games? What are people do? I guess they read. I guess you could watch TV.
I think a lot of TV, some walking, social distance walking. You know, keep away from everyone, but it's still good to get outside.
Yeah,
Jesus, that's depressing.
Touch anything. Yeah.
Have you guys been? You know, my biggest fear right now is going to the grocery store, which I do maybe once a week now.
Yeah.
And having to cough. Even you're not sick, you just need to, because I like a cat hair in my throat or something.
Yeah.
And just that's my biggest fear right now.
Somebody will shame you publicly for coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was walking with both kids. I had one strapped to my chest and the other in the stroller. I was trying to get my wife a break because she's trying to get homework done because she's doing university courses still from home. And there's this other family coming at me on the street, and I'm going through an intersection, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I hit a bump, and I get it caught in my throat. And this whole family's about to come at me, and I'm trying not to cough because there's like 4 cars next to me, and they're all looking at you because the intersection's completely empty except for me. And this family of like 3 little girls are all walking and hopping along. I was like, and then they said hello because everyone's like feeling really awkward.
Hello?
Everyone feels really awkward right now because like you have to go to the leader, and so everyone's like, it feels like you're being rude. So everyone says hi to everyone when you're walking right now. They go, oh, hello, hi. Oh, how you doing? You know, everyone's doing it. And so they say hello, and I'm just like, hi.
Run!
I hustled my ass out there. Yeah, I share your fear.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's true. Well, every other illness that ever existed is still out there. All the other viruses, the common cold. So you can be sick and not have COVID-19. It's, but nobody believes you. Trust me, it's just allergies. The seasons are changing.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
swear.
going near you.
Yeah,
I had the fucking sinus infection you were talking about when we were getting ready for ESL LA. I flew out there. All the ESL guys. I'm just coughing up a storm, wiping my eyes. Shit's coming out of me. They're like, oh my God. We must get out of this place. I can't help it. Fucking cough, dude.
So, speaking about ESL, overall, how bad was this for them relative to everyone else in the Dota space where shit's gone nuclear? Because now they're doing this non-DPC, pretty cool event, BTS Studio, all online, talent grinding away. I think they've got like a 15-hour broadcast coming up tomorrow. I don't know why Grant's in chat instead of sleeping, you crazy bastard. How bad is it for ESL? Obviously, it sucks, but it kind of feels like they've recovered a little bit. I've been enjoying the BTS stream.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty fucking bad. I feel like they might have sold out that stadium. So I think it's probably not good.
Yeah.
But
now they've got a betting sponsor for all this content because it's not DPC. GG Bet be popping up every game, son.
That's pretty nice. Give them that.
I mean, I'm sure they're just trying to survive.
But
it's a feel bad.
Because they were kind of easy. That was like the first event that I can remember. Where they they were like about to have their event and they're like, oh, sorry, it's closed. And then obviously no one could go in, so that was ESL. And then as Archie's saying in chat, they had Rio, which is another CSGO event that got canned. Plus, depending on how long this takes, Birmingham just got delayed, right? As well. I'm pretty sure. So they're
probably
ESL's they had a lot of really nice stuff lined up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's I mean, you guys at home just can't imagine how many people need to be fucking working to put something like one of the ESL Dota events on. And they are all out there. An entire hotel rented out. Every staff member ready to go. Everything set up 3 days before it happened, 4 days before it happened. I was there. I was the only talent that was there. And then they just they're like, we got to go home tomorrow. The day that Trump came out with this thing and said, like, if you're European, you're travel banned. They were like, we have 12 hours to get home. Peace. And they wrapped it all up. I mean, I cannot believe how much they lost.
It could have been worse, though. If it was in the middle of the tournament, that would have been way worse, I think.
I don't know.
Worse.
I mean, if you have
at least
sponsors,
they wouldn't have lost as much money.
Right. If you had sponsors for that event and stuff, people were... I would rather do half an event than no an event. That's just bad stuff. Because, I mean, they still had to rent the hotels. They still had to rent the stadium. They still had to pay all the employees that they flew from around the world to attend this thing and then change all their flights and fly them all home. I mean, shout out to fucking ESL. I hope they're okay. That is horrible. That is horrible.
Somebody over there needs a hug.
Yeah, for sure. If they're still alive.
I'm sure they'll get at least like next year if everything's cleared up by then, which we assume and / hope. They'll have ESL LA next year for sure, right? There's no way.
Maybe.
One would hope, but a lot can happen between now and then. I mean, Dota Pit was supposed to be the next minor. Those qualifiers were scheduled to start tomorrow, I think, something like that. I had set up all the casters. I got a message from D2 Bowie last night. Hey, bro, who should I contact to get the overlays? It's like, that got canceled a month ago. I guess nobody told you, bud. Oh, really? Darn.
Oh, darn it.
Poor Bowie. He's like too nice for his own good. Just like, shucks.
No. Oh, poor guy.
Poor fella. I felt bad. I assumed everybody saw the announcement, and I guess he didn't get the update. But apparently some of the talent are still stuck in Ukraine from WePlay, the charity event.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, I assume Kyle wants to be there. That's a safe assumption.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
I don't know about like Pigeon. I don't know what
do you mean?
Is.
He can't leave?
Well, he's still there.
I
don't know why
lockdown.
he's still there.
I mean, I was talking to some Ukrainian folks a couple days ago, and they said that whole region is going to do like a border shutdown very, very soon. Because one of our sales folks at Bait is in Czech Republic right now, but she's from Ukraine, and she's on holiday. And they were basically like, all right, you need to decide if you want to stay or get the fuck out because you got 2 days, and then it's done. We're closing it. Bridge is shut down. So
oh my God.
they might
that's
be in Ukraine
unfortunate.
for a while, dude. I don't know.
Well, you know,
I've seen some news from the UK. I might just stay if I was pitching. That might be good.
That's true. Ukraine's nice this time of year.
Yeah, we play will put you in a nice place. I'm sure. You know, they're all hanging out.
Yeah, just
Get to
stay for
party
the
with-
next We Play tournament, right? They announced another 2 million, however fucking much money they're burning on this
$2 million. $1 million.
10 billion. Sunspan, where does the money come from?
Ooh, that's the $1 million question right there. I'd rather not speculate, Zayori. But no one really knows at the end of the day. Let's just say that.
I mean, they
one
announced their
truly
next
knows.
league, and I think it starts basically after ESL's done, like the 20th or something like that. We still got a couple weeks.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff planned. I mean, the virus has apparently not affected them at all. They've been going ham on everything.
yes.
They've been really
you
good.
know.
Yes.
Next.
Wow. So, you guys been playing some
On a
Dota?
completely unrelated note, I've been watching Netflix's Ozark. Anyway.
So how about that Tiger King, huh, boys?
All right, I heard this Tiger King shit is like the lowest TV. Is it super low? Has anyone watched
it's
it?
actually
I have not
good.
seen
I'm
it.
on. Me and my wife are on episode 3. It's wild. It's wild. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
I usually stay away from that fucking normie shit, but I'm having a blast.
The
It
last
is,
one I heard about was Love Is Blind was a Netflix one that blew up too, right? Is that what it was called?
I did.
I mean, that
missed
looks like some fucking for real normie shit. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
but
watch
isn't
that.
this like
but-
the same deal? I thought they were both kind of low tier. I heard they were low.
I mean, they're not high tier. It's definitely a Corona show.
Excellent. Now we're talking.
The rating
Is that
system
the
now.
new? Is that the new rating system for something? It's like it's not an airplane movie anymore. It's a Corona movie.
Yeah, that fucking
I
Morgan
mean,
Freeman
I
movie.
probably wouldn't watch Tiger King on an airplane, but if I'm at home on Netflix, I ain't gonna watch Altered Carbon again. So we're good. I'll watch this.
I mean, that fucking Morgan Freeman, what is it, Contagion or Pandemic? The one about exactly what's happening? That shit's been top 10 on Netflix for like a month now. I don't even think it's a good movie. Everyone just wants to see how Morgan Freeman saved the world so they can feel better about the current state of reality.
I'm pretty sure he has corona too, right?
Oh, no. Don't
remember
say it
reading
ain't
that.
so, Susie.
What?
Tom
I
Hanks
think I
and
hear about
Morgan
that.
Freeman?
No way.
It's been a couple of weeks, so I'm sure they're fine
No
at this
way.
point.
Have you watched
So,
the
yeah.
Tiger King, Suns fan? I think you would love it.
No, I'm not into reality TV. I don't even
So-
know anything about this. It's just about
It's
some
not
guy that has like
reality
something to
TV.
do at his
Okay,
house.
so yeah, it's not reality TV. It's a 7-part documentary. It's about this crazy rich or was rich dude in Oklahoma who bought a fuckload of tigers. He's very flamboyantly gay. He wears really crazy clothes. He's super outspoken. He ran for president in the 2016 election. He's absolutely bananas, and it's like Jersey Shore. You know, it's a train wreck, but you kind of want to see what the crash is going to look like when it happens.
But he's in
so-
jail now. That's what I know, right?
Well, fucking
Spoilers.
spoiler, big dog. You just
Well-
jumped to part 7. I mean, what are you doing?
That
I
is that
just
part of the
assumed he
doc?
was
I thought this
dead.
happened after the documentary.
No. So what makes this documentary good is that there's a shitload of footage from when the stuff happened. So it's not one of those like just people talking and then they recreate it. There's a lot of actual footage because the guy made like
Yeah.
music videos. He made political campaign videos. He made just random marketing videos for his bullshit. He used to have like an online broadcasting studio thing where he would do a quote TV show and insult people he didn't like. He's shooting puppets. Oh yeah, he loves guns too. So he's always shooting guns and shit. So
Sounds
It-
like a
it-
real
it's
valued
entertaining.
member of society.
Sunspan, you would love it. It's one of those documentaries where the documentary filmmaker knows that he's gonna fuck every single person that he is filming. He's gonna destroy their lives, and he does it for 5 years. This guy's following these dudes around, just like, I'm gonna destroy everything that you've built. I'm going to show everyone what a piece of garbage you are, and literally everyone I'm filming is going to jail. So it's like. It's one of those things, like one of those documentaries where they show the people prepping before they talk to go on camera. Like, I can't believe I have to fucking do this. Hey, everybody! It's like one of those where the guy is like purposely going to fuck all these people. It's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, they filmed all the shit. It's, oh, this will be edited. Don't worry. And then the guy that filmed it was like, yeah, I'm going to edit it all right.
God
All together. So highly recommend. It is a bit of a meme. It is the normie thing to do, but dude, by episode 3, I was hooked in and just binged the rest straight through, nonstop. I don't know how you stopped halfway through, Slacks. It's kind of like the cliffhanger of stopping the book right before Sniff Sniff.
I saw that clip from your podcast. You know, we're getting there.
We had a call-in. We had 3 call-ins, and one of them, the whole call was just like, when are we going to get the rest of the book? I must know what happens, but I
just
won't buy
the fucking book, okay? You idiots.
That's what you were going for. I see.
Yes, buy the book. That's the point. I stopped right at the climax. Okay, just like Amazon.com, the free trial version. Oh, he stopped right at Sniff Sniff. Oh, how could this happen? Buy it. Okay, this is called marketing, Ziori.
All
Do
right,
it.
fair enough.
I thought maybe you should read it in VR. Like, play Half-Life Alyx. You should be reading it while you're playing.
Tilt brush that shit. Just draw it out the entire time. That's actually a pretty good idea. That makes me want to do it.
That might make it more entertaining. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
it.
sure someone could mod that in, right? Someone could just mod the book. You could turn the pages.
So, have you guys
Yeah, your
actually
little gnome.
been playing any Dota in the quarantine? Are you guys playing the? I know Trent's been playing Animal Crossing.
Bruh, I got 2 kids at home. I got no daycare. I can't play Dota.
Yeah, bruh. Animal Crossing's lit, you idiot.
I have
is
it.
pretty lit,
It's
not
pretty
gonna
fun.
lie.
My museum's under construction. It's going to be awesome.
I don't own that game, you fucking idiot.
I know nothing
Anyway.
about that game at all.
I was torn
Sunspan-
between choosing a
People
female
can
character
visit your island.
and a male character,
all I know.
and I was a little bit sad at how accurately the female character portrayed what I wanted to look like.
Sunspan's fucking life is Animal Crossing. People just come up to his door, they fucking knock on his door. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, hello. Who are you? Come on in to the cult. Come and stay a while,
Anytime I have
friend.
visitors that come for like a day or 2, he just calls it the cult.
Bro,
Anytime I'm socializing,
Sunspan
it's a
has
cult.
visitors. Back before the Corona days, back when we were kids, Sunspan would have someone random over and say, oh, sorry, I have John over. Who's John? Oh, he's an old friend. Every week it would be a new stranger. Who are these people? I would ask him, and he'd say, no one important. And want to know why they weren't important? Because they're fucking dead now, okay? He's got a cult. Stay away from Sunspan.
I still have
You got me.
dreams
Oh boy.
of bringing the cult of Sunsfan to life. We could start a nonprofit. We could get a whole a church building. We could do Sunday seminars. We could change lives, Sunsfan.
You know, the greatest thing about this is you don't even know you're in the cult when you're in it. You guys have all visited my house, my old house. at
Oh
least.
my God.
So technically, you
not all of us.
The
Wait, Trent, you weren't
Sunchurian
there?
candidate.
really?
But you're,
No, he wasn't. That was the pre-Trent Packs days.
Ah.
Captain's Draft through. We invited Grant instead.
Hey, that was Grant's second biggest event. There you go. We
That was
started
That was
the
his
shit.
legendary
breakout
Grand
year.
That was the breakout year.
Yeah. That was a fun event. That was a fun event. Poor JJ.
Kinda. Not for me either. Remember how I had to stay up all night editing those videos about pro players fucking goats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I do
that was
remember
fun.
that.
That
Oh,
was
the
fun.
goat. Oh,
The goat
man.
fucking videos.
Poor Mott.
Jesus.
He did
I've
irreparable
never been
damage to his
so-
pancreas that day. So many
Never been
Snickers.
so convinced that content was good that people just didn't like.
Everything.
That's my
about
loss
it.
of all
that
confidence,
Subway sub
you know?
is so funny.
I know. It's the best thing
I always
he's ever
forget
made.
about that, but that video is gold.
The funniest part about that video is knowing that we were featured on the front page of Twitch when we debuted it. And that was literally the front and center. Like, you go to twitch.tv, the first thing that starts playing is this balding, obese man eating a sandwich
Hey,
to the...
I'm right here. What the fuck? You could have used a little less harsh verbiage, Jake. You could have just said, man.
Sounds like Sunsfan talking to Spawn right here. Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't gotten better since then. I can only imagine what you think of me now.
Oh, no. I've gone too
Oh,
far.
no.
So, but have you guys been playing
It took me
Dota?
so long to get crumbs out of my keyboard from that fucking thing, by the way.
That's true. We didn't prep
No.
the
Jesus
stage very
Christ.
well.
We didn't really do anything.
So you've been winning games, though, Slacks? You grinded MMR, or are you busy playing a man's game? Half-Life
You know,
Alyx.
I've been playing a lot. I kind of stopped playing Tarky as much now since it's a normie thing. It was more fun when no one knew about it. Now it's like, you know, I gotta be a hipster and go back to Dota where no one knows what the fuck Dota is. So yeah, played through Alyx. That was amazing. Can't wait. If you guys end up, having a spare $1,000 for Index and then a $2,000 for a PC that can run it, and then a spare $80 on that, give it a whirl. It's a good game.
So is it the game changer though, Slex? I watched a little bit of your stream. Mott told me it's actually like 11 out of 10. It takes VR to another level. Is it really? Is this the game changer that is this the future of VR? Are we really there? Did it live up to the hype?
Let's just say that Valve has been working on this since Half-Life 3 or whatever, and I'm actually not angry anymore after playing this game. So yeah, it was, as Gaben would put it, worth the wait for me. It actually does like revolutionize how you can look at VR, because the most magical moments of that game are things that it doesn't spell out, and it's like the mundane. So I'm gonna give a very small spoiler here, but I was at this point, and all I was doing was I was in a very small puzzle, nothing crazy, and there was just a lever thing in front of, like a piece of the roof fell down, and there was a pole there, and in any game, you're like, oh, this is blocked off. But I took the pole and I shoved it up and I wedged it into the ground and I crawled under it. And there was no prompts. There's no nothing. And it was like one of the first times in gaming where I'm like, that is actually what I would do in real life. And I just did it. And it was like this super strange moment, and the whole game is like that. It's wild.
I had one. I mean, I'm not nearly as far as you because something about just wearing the fucking headset for over an hour. I can't do it. It's like my limit. But yesterday I had a similar moment where during the beginning of the game, there's like a barrel with a bunch of shit in it. I just flip it upside down and I shake everything out. It's like so realistic. It feels so weird that you're able to interact with stuff so fluidly. So I've been, even though I can't handle VR for that long, it's been really good.
Do you get nauseous after an hour or so, or?
So Boneworks, I got fucking really nauseous. I had to get a refund for that game because in that game you can only do smooth motion where you're walking normally. That fucked me up big time.
Yeah.
This one, there's a bunch of options. The default is just teleporting, which I'm relatively fine with. It's more just the headset just gives me a headache from wearing it for so long.
I get that feeling too. Breaks. I feel like the screen so close to my face fucks with me after a while. I couldn't imagine playing VR for like 10 hours straight. Although I've never used an Index, to be fair.
Dude, I remember I played that shit. I went hard. I played I must have played like 4 or 5 hours straight. I was sore by the end. I remember I was just playing like the Valve games, like the archery and everything.
Yeah.
Archery, yes.
VR is crazy. It is so sick.
I will say that I had a Vive, and now I have an Index, and the Index solved all those problems. Like, I actually don't feel like I'm going to die.
I've heard other people say that too.
Yeah, so
the higher res actually makes a difference. There still is something. The last gap is the movement. If you could just walk and move, that would be like, you need the treadmill, the 360 treadmill. How much does that bitch cost though? It's another $1,000 onto your VR
that would
setup.
Be insane though.
I mean, honestly, at that point,
sounds dangerous.
Just upload my mind to the
take me, Gavin.
I mean, at that point, why are we still doing this? Clearly, I don't want to be in this real world any longer. Just take me.
It's coming, dude. Your kids, they're going to care more about VR than real life. You get ready.
I fucking hope so. In the state that I'm going to leave this planet for them, oh, yeah. You better hope you love video games.
Not going to be nothing nice outside, that's for sure.
Burning it all to the ground, baby.
Have y'all been streaming? You been making the most of this stay-at-home content time?
A little bit.
No. A little bit?
Occasionally,
yeah. It's mostly working.
It's kind of a weird time. I can't tell if it's an amazing time to stream or a bad time to stream, because partially you've got this huge audience that's just sitting at home that would normally have other shit to do, but so many other people are streaming, like Thompson and other folks like that never stream. It feels like there's more competition than ever, and I understand why you're not listening to my podcast and you could be watching Thompson. I mean, for real.
It's true.
Sometimes I look at the Twitch list, I'm like, why do we have so few viewers? You go, oh, because Arteezy and Thompson and all those other guys that never fucking stream are online.
In Chrome that just shows like all my follow channels. I just click it and it has like a big number showing how many of them are live. Usually it's like 20 or like 22. Right now there's like 45 live, and it's like this is not
a lot of channels. Jesus, Trent.
Well, between all the Dota ones, Dota, Smash,
How do you follow 40 channels?
Because I don't get any emails and I just use an extension and it's super easy.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's nice. I can recommend it. It's called
Are you-
Twitch Live.
Are your numbers
Boom.
down, Sunzy? Is the same hardcore fan base tuning in, or did you notice a dip?
Maybe a little bit of an increase, but it's about the same, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Zyori.
I don't stream too much.
Wow, the
Just a
reality
few-
of my career is
few
really
days a week.
setting
Oh,
in. Jesus
no.
Christ.
Oh no. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of competition and stuff too. I just don't really see the point in streaming right now. Besides like entertaining the people that need it, you know. But like most people stream for monetary reasons. They want donations and shit. I mean, don't be giving your money to fucking streamers right now, people. You don't know where the world is going.
Yeah, hold that
Okay?
shit.
Keep hold.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
Buy
money.
that
I'll take
toilet
your
paper.
money. Hold. You need TP.
Invest in toilet paper, soup, and other perishable items.
Soup,
Soup?
dude, you gotta tell him to leave the soup. You're not gonna have any.
Please, I need soup for my diet. Someone. Every time I fucking go, there's 2 flavors only in the fucking grocery store. God.
I guess soup
A
is a
real pain.
non-perishable, right? Isn't that the classic like bunker food?
Yeah.
Soup.
See, what does that mean though? Non-perishable, because they expire in 2 years.
Well, it
Is it non-perishable mean it never expires, or it takes a really,
2
really
years
long time?
after you open it.
I think very few things literally last forever. Non-perishable just means like vegetables are perishable, shit that
See, I
deteriorates
look at-
quickly.
I look at sardines as something that will last until the apocalypse, right? Stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
disgusting canned food. But
I
soup
like sardines.
says 2 years. I mean, it's probably not 2 years. Probably like 3 years. You know, you got to give it a little extra.
Yes.
Still,
Yes.
all
Now,
those
actually-
people that have the underground bunkers are probably like
dude,
real happy right now.
I was watching that
you
show
know?
Doomsday
can use it.
Preppers on Amazon Prime. That shit's not as stupid as it used to sound. I used to watch that show and laugh maniacally, and now it's like, damn, these motherfuckers are smart. These guys got a
Yeah.
plan. These guys got ventilators, respirators, oxygen tanks. They were fucking ready. I don't even have a weapon. Oh.
Yeah, that's not good. I'll be happy to admit what Trump won't. When it first came out, I'm like, this shit's just a flu. Everyone's a fucking idiot. Whoops. I was in this talent group where people were talking about shit, and one of the guys is just like, guys, this is really serious. You should think about not going to events. You should think about buying toilet paper. Oh, did I make fun of that guy? Oh, no. Oopsie.
It got pretty serious pretty fast.
It got pretty good. I think that guy was right.
When will
Whoops.
you guys feel comfortable flying again?
Today.
Really? If you got invited to a Dota
empty.
event tomorrow, would you get on a plane?
Yeah.
Snaps?
Nobody's on planes right now. Right?
Well.
You gotta move against the grain, baby.
You're actually
That's
not
it.
wrong. I think there is actually no one on flights right now. So
Yeah, then you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
find a flight. That would be sort of an issue.
I mean, even like I can't remember. I've gotten so many emails like I talked about through all these fucking airlines, but I know a few of them have been. Even if there's a decent amount of people on the flight, they'll separate people enough that you can choose your own seat. I mean, it actually is a pretty good time to fly. But
It's great.
having said that, planes are fucking disgusting.
Yeah, planes. Are
I touch a
nasty.
seatbelt. Like I've been pretty self-conscious of, or pretty conscious of, like, I'm not a germaphobe, as you guys can probably attest to, but there's certain things that disgust me. And seatbelt, it's like equivalent to wiping your asshole. That's how I feel when I touch it. Once I touch that seatbelt,
It's a
I will
little
not touch
extreme.
anything relating to me until I've put on hand sanitizer or wash my hands or anything to that.
But to wash your hands, you have to go to the bathroom. Then what do you do when you come back and the belt's not on?
Oh my
I have
god.
I started wearing a hoodie so I could use the sleeve to open and use my hands.
You're definitely a germaphobe.
So.
That's
guys, I'm not a germaphobe, but I do wear gloves when I go in public and have to see strangers.
No. It's just the airplane, specifically airplanes.
Airplanes
The-
are pretty fucking grody.
The seatbelt itself, they don't clean, and then the tray table is also fucking disgusting. Like
Yeah.
so much shit on that.
yeah.
So I don't play.
I do not
don't
miss
take any
flying.
chances.
I hate flying. Planes are
Yeah, it's the worst.
disgusting. Before any of this, I still can't stand it. Everyone's gross. Everyone's coughing. Everyone has a runny nose. And then the person next to you's coughing, and they like look the other way, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's working. You're like literally still leaning into me right now. Ugh.
All that recycled
Slacks
air.
is that person on the plane.
I am. I'm the person everyone hates. I'm always sick. I'm always coughing. I shove Chick-fil-A into my bag and I eat it 13 hours later. I just crack that shit open, stink the whole plane up like Chick-fil-A.
right. You ever have the person sit next to you and offer you food? Does that ever happen to you guys?
No.
No, what the fuck? That's weird. Like
That's
they pull
happened
out
to
a
me
sandwich and go, "Hey, bud, you
Yes.
want half?"
No, that's happened to me 3 times.
That's got to be a Canadian thing. That's only happened flying from Halifax to Toronto.
Best-
I'm calling it.
No, best one was from Montreal to Halifax. It's dude, it's like, he's got the aisle seat, middle one's free, and then I have the window. Guy comes in, box of fucking pizza, sets them on, and goes, "Yo, dude, you want some?"
Hell yeah!
And he's got 3/4 of pizza left, and he's like, "Hey man, have as much as you want." I'm like, "Huh?" And I was like, no, I'm good. And then
Nah.
the next 2 minutes, he's like, "No, seriously, like, dude, just come on, have some." I'm like, okay.
Whoa,
All right,
whoa!
let's go.
So you had it.
Fuck yeah, I had the pizza.
That's great.
I think if
That
I were
sounds
in
amazing.
Canada, I would consider. I don't know. I took the weed from that stranger in Montreal for that land.
True,
The same thing. I smoked that shit. I didn't die. I don't know. It was-
That was
I
the best
thought you were
Canadian
done.
impression of all time. Like how the best first impression you're ever gonna get. "Hey there, bud. So we got some extra bud here. Do you want some?"
You guys smoke.
we
smoke
gotta
weed?
go.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, is this some kind of a test? Is this guy border patrol? Or are they gonna fucking kick me out? He's just like, oh, I was like, how much is it? He's just go, I don't even know, man. A couple of grams or something. I don't know. I'll go get it. And you can check it out. Okay, I'll be right back there. Came back down
Yeah,
with a big
we're-
old bag of weed. There you go.
We're literally just eating. Me and Zion.
Yeah, we're at breakfast.
Eat
was
breakfast.
9 in
And
the
some
morning.
fucking guys. "Oh, hey,
He
you're
handed
the
it to me.
Dota guys.
Yeah.
You want some weed?" I'm like, "No." And then Zioni's like,
Irish.
"Yes."
Jesus.
Oh,
Sound
hello
like
there.
a fucking leprechaun.
You gotta want some of that herb.
The best part was he gave it to me, and then he was just like, "All right, if you want to meet me outside in a couple of minutes, there, I got a bone ready to fly." I was just like, it's a little early. 3 minutes later, fuck it, let's go outside. Let's see what's happening. Pretty nice guy. I got his card and emailed him. He never emailed me back. I guess he forgot about it. I don't know.
Well, maybe he was blazed out of his mind. He's like, "Who the fuck is this? And where's all my weed?" Most likely the
Guys,
situation.
where'd all my weed go?
I
We
mean,
need
the
another Canada event, man. Fuck.
meta for going to the airport, going on planes, is to look as disheveled and fucked up as humanly possible. When I go to the airport, I look like the Unabomber. I wear the same shirt, the same pants,
Yeah.
holes. I don't do my hair. I just look like if I'm literally going to explode the plane, and nobody talks to me. They give me ample room. In fact, the stewardesses are very nice. They're like, "Do you need anything? Are you okay?"
Are you
Don't
okay, young
hurt
man?
us.
Hmm?
Sometimes if I get an empty aisle, I'll build the fort. You guys ever did that?
No.
The fort? No.
So if you're on an international and you have an empty aisle, you take all the blankets from all the seats and then you shove them behind the other guy's headrest in front of you, and you make like a little tent.
I
and then
have
on the
seen people do that.
Yeah, and on the
You're not
sides you
alone.
stack all the pillows, and then you're just in a little fort, and everyone thinks you're masturbating, but you're not. You're just sleeping. You're just in a little fort.
Are you allowed to do
Very
that?
nice.
I've never seen the pillow stacking, but I've seen the blanket tuck for the night cover.
I've only
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that for women that are nursing on a plane. They cover them up so you get a little thing. So you get. I've never seen someone just in row 38. You're like, "I'm going into my fort now. See you later, suckers."
And it's really good because when the stewardess walk over, they always want to knock. They're like, "Hello, do you want to eat?" And I'm like, "Get out of here!" I just yell at them. God, don't look at here. I'm not masturbating.
That's
He
the
was
first thing
definitely
you say.
masturbating. That's the first thing they see.
That guy's definitely.
I'm not talking.
That's why they knock. They're like, "I'm not going in there. What? We
Hello.
got another 8 hours on this flight. I'm not dealing with that right now."
All I hear is the movie Trolls and a bunch of grunting under there. What's happening?
I still haven't watched Paddington Bear 2. Speaking of plane movies,
Bro!
I will never forget that flight, Slacks. When Paddington Bear 2 was the hot shit, it was like the newest movie on the flight, and you were telling me about it. I thought you were full of shit, and I looked literally every TV I could see, no matter what age, from 4-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds. They're just sitting there watching Paddington Bear 2, spread the marmalade all over the place. I still haven't seen it. I still
fun.
don't get what the fuck is going on with that movie.
Me neither. Me neither.
It was like
Paddington 2 is
Europe
lit.
thing.
It was a cult classic.
Kids, it's not Europe. It's not cult. Paddington 2 is fucking lit. Paddington 1 was a kids movie. It's bullshit. It's fucking stupid. Paddington 2 is cinema. Check it out, guys.
Paddington
Check it out.
1, that's some bullshit.
Don't look on YouTube. Don't look at clips. If you look at clips, you're gonna think I'm an idiot. You have to start from the beginning. It's a beautiful tale. Paddington 2. Don't fuck around.
Okay, I'll say the same thing about Pop Star if you guys want to watch something later.
Now, that I've never heard of.
Yeah,
Pop
it's
Star.
Pop Star. PUP space STAR. It is a American Idol parody a la Air Bud with talking dogs.
Oh,
Talking
that-
dogs.
Yeah, that we clicked
Okay.
one time
Parody a la
on
Air-
Netflix as a joke. Me and my wife clicked on it and we died. We were like watching the video. You should see how bad the animation is. It's so good. I'll link you guys some songs for later. Don't worry.
Oh my
That sounds
God.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Slack Soda in chat just said, I watched The Shape of Water on a plane. Things got real weird for the family behind me. I
Oh,
know
dude,
you're a
I
big
hate
fan
that
of that
shit.
movie.
that movie is fucking stupid. A fish fucks a lady. What?
I loved it until the part where they fill the apartment with water as if it's some sort of watertight apparatus. There's just little bits of water shooting out of the door cracks. Like, you turned your apartment into an aquarium? Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here with your
That movie was
stupid
awful.
bullshit.
I
That movie
hated
was
it.
awful. And if anyone liked that movie, leave the chat. Get out.
I liked it until
All
I
right.
talked to you
Out.
about it, and then I realized that I had brain damage.
Yeah, you saw the world. All right, anyway, we should probably talk about Dota shit, huh?
Yeah, so has everybody
Huh?
been playing pubs? You guys actually been gaming? Or, Sunzy, are you playing real Dota, or are you just playing that fuck? I heard you made a custom game. I don't, what, tell it, before we go too deep,
Spoilers.
what, is it not out yet? I thought this was a public thing.
Oh, it's not a spoiler, but
I've seen
no,
it.
it's coming out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So
You've played some of it on stream, though, right? Am I crazy?
yes, it's
Yeah.
called POG, Path of Guardians.
So,
Slacks is a real fan. He thinks it's going to be a huge success.
I'm sorry.
Well-
I liked it. I liked it.
I mean, so after the debacle known as Betway Midas Mode 2.0 with the custom map that worked perfectly with no bugs, no issues, what would motivate one to do that again?
I don't know. Part of it is just wanting to have some fun, you know. Slacks is, as you can tell, a real backer of this project of mine.
What do you
He-
want
he
from me,
doesn't-
dude?
Like, so there's one. So okay, there's one side of it where I can understand why somebody might not think this will be a success. Okay, I can respect it. That's fine. There's another thing for somebody not understanding why somebody would want to do this just as a passion project. That's what I.
Why
don't get.
would you want to do it? If your game is successful, if it is one of the biggest games ever, then Valve will steal it
Yes.
and make underlords, and you will get no money. Why do you want that?
I mean, to be fair, they made a shit ton of money. What are you talking about?
Plus, they
True.
offered them
A
the
shit
jobs
ton.
at Valve.
Thanks
so,
to
you
Epic,
know.
though, right? Wasn't that what happened with the auto chess thing? They ended up taking the Epic offer. Is that where you want to go, Sunsfan? You want to end up on, what's that
Dude,
shitty, the Epic launcher? Is that your
I'll-
future?
You want to James Harding that shit?
Yeah?
Huh?
I'll fucking sell out for however much money they got. Absolutely, dude. They probably got a shit ton. I mean, think about it. They created a game that branched out into how many different games now? That's crazy. They made a
That's
shit ton of
crazy.
money for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, this
maybe.
game doesn't have that kind of ceiling. I'm not gonna pretend, but it's based off of. Have you guys heard of ARAM?
Yeah, all
from-
random, all mid.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
that, but it's 3v3. You know, accelerated XP, accelerated. The whole idea behind it is to kind of bridge the gap for people that have not played Dota in a while and feel kind of, because I've noticed, like, reading some of the toxic YouTube comments, of course, weeding through the toxic stuff on YouTube, that there's a big audience of people that just never got back into Dota because there was some big update and they just feel intimidated to come back and play, even if it's turbo mode. So this is kind of like a more casual, it's like a 10-15 minute game.
You're trying to make
where-
a casual mode of the casual mode?
That's right. It's a more casual turbo mode. That is
Wow.
correct.
Got layers.
So, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for an ARAM type mod. So this is kind of hopefully getting the best of all worlds. So we'll see. It's
Well,
been fun to do.
I am your friend, and I hope for the best for you. Okay. But just like
thank
you
you.
mock
Having said
Zeno and his horrible obesity, I must give it to you real because we're friends.
Wrong
friends.
friend, dog. You hit the
Yes.
wrong
We're
guy.
friends. I'll give it to you real.
Collateral fire.
The fuck are you
Wait,
doing?
what friend did you say? What did
He
he
said
say?
Zeno.
Yeah, wrong person. Talking about Spawn here. Okay, he got morbidly
What?
obese within a month.
Collateral damage. Yeah, sorry. No, I mean I don't keep people around me that bullshit me. If you're a real friend, you give it to me real. Sometimes I'll show you content and I'll say, was that any good? And if you say yeah, there's actually a video on my YouTube called Dinosaur Soap Opera, where it's like 2 hours of me fucking around with like gifs of a dinosaur. And I'm like, did you watch it? And they're like, yeah, it was great. Never talk to those people again. It's a fucking tester. All right. I gotta have it real. So I give it to you real. I hope your mod works out.
So,
but Valve's just gonna steal it. What's the point?
Is the mod gonna be monetized, Sunsfan? Because when it was Auto Chess and Dota, you could buy shit like through their website that would give you like cosmetics in game, right? Like they were making money before they sold it, correct?
Right. So that's been the reason it's actually taken so long. So gameplay wise, it's been basically done since January. But putting in like a battle pass, the website, all that stuff to monetize, it's
why does this have 28,000 views?
Because there's 28,000 people that I don't want to be friends with.
We hunger. What the fuck is this? Like, have you guys ever watched this?
No.
Link.
No one's watched this.
I put it in the chat, dude. What the
no
fuck
one's
is
watched this.
Why
This is what I
so
show
many
people, and
views on it?
I ask them if
I've
it's
seen
good.
this. Dude, I turned this off within 2 minutes. Easily.
Exactly.
That was
And
fucking
that's
horrible.
a good friend. That's a man I could trust.
Jesus Christ, that was bad. Could
Wow.
not take it.
Sometimes it really is just a test, huh?
Grandfather, no. What the?
Awful. Just fucking awful.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, thank you.
So
But no,
okay.
going
Sorry,
back,
continue.
finishing up. So you guys remember I made a mod named Chip with the help of Slacks, and actually Trent and I think Zyori probably cast a bit as well. I know Trent did at least.
I don't know. What it sounds familiar, but I'm having trouble.
Like I've always wanted to like be a project manager of a game. Okay, so this is the closest you can get is doing a mod. The problem is the idea behind that mod was not great. Okay, I'll level with it. It was just regular Dota with custom heroes, and the custom heroes take fucking forever to create.
Parasite.
Yeah. So eventually we probably will be putting in custom heroes to this mod, but it's not going to be on a release, and Parasite has been deleted from the game. There's all traces have been gone.
You're an idiot. Parasite is such a good hero. Mark my words, there will be a Dota hero exactly like Parasite.
This is Han Parasite
Exactly.
or a
All I'm
different
gonna say
Parasite?
is the lichen wolf
Different.
happened. The lichen wolf bite exists. All right, so I will
I
never
know
doubt
this,
Slacks
like,
again.
That
the
shit
ult of
upset me.
Parasite.
That lichen bite was in the game. I think Trent and I were casting once. I was like, "Oh, lichen!" You're like, "Do you know what the lichen Ags does live?" And I was like, "Yeah, it summons wolves in every lane." No, you idiot! They changed it, and I didn't know if he was serious or not. I got so baited by thinking it was some sort of meta joke, and then it was all too real. I felt like such a dumbass. Thanks, Slacks.
Listen, I'm just ahead of the curve. All right, you guys, 2 years from now, you'll all be playing the Parasite hero, and you'll be
This
like,
is what I'm
going
going
to
to say about Parasite, okay? So the ult was the only well-designed skill of the entire game. Basically, you take over an enemy hero for a certain amount of time. It's pretty simple, and you can use their shit. I like that. And I know Valve, the beta team, you said this publicly, said that they liked that skill. They were thinking about putting that in the game at some point. The problem is the rest of the hero is fucking garbage, and there's zero chance that any of those skills will relate in any aspect of the game. They're all garbage. They're terrible, poorly designed. So if they put in the ult, that is not copying Parasite.
That is Parasite. That is Parasite if they use the ult.
All right, then if that's the case, then I agree. They're going to take Parasite at some point. Slacks. Congratulations. Just like they took my Jeremy Kahn into Mars.
Jeremy Kahn. Listen,
Mars.
I don't want to unveil the secrecy of how Valve and Dota work. They literally just watch Sunsfan's podcast with Cinderin and What the Duck, and then they just update things 3 years later.
That's
okay?
true, actually.
Sorry. That's how it happens.
Is that what this is, Sunsfan? Is this custom game just a bid to get a job offer at Valve and relocate to Seattle?
No. I know I could never fit in with Valve culture or with being even remotely smart enough. But I will say, I actually forgot what I was going to say, so I'm not going to say anything.
Future Valver here,
fuck was I
boys
gonna
and
say?
girls.
Example A.
Where am I?
Exhibit A. Where am I?
Fuck, what was I going to say? What were we talking about right before that?
Chip,
Jeremy
Parasite, Jeremy Kahn, your custom game, monetization. making money, getting rich.
I lost it. I'll
game
remember it
director.
halfway through the next conversation. It's lost.
So very excited about this new game. Are you going to do like a tournament or something? How are you going to market this, John? You going to get some esports? You need some casters there, big dog? I know
wanna
a couple
play.
of people.
Yeah, I'm not. We haven't really ironed that 100% out. We're talking to somebody, actually. I guess I can't say this. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it'd be super cool if they end up using it as part of their platform.
Is this going to be Captain's Draft 5? You want to put up a 100K prize pool? I'll hype that shit up, bro.
God, no. There's never going to be a prize pool. I'm not putting
break this,
any
man.
money of mine into any tournament ever again. But still excited to see what happens with the game.
And if you're watching What the Duck right now on Twitch, after this episode is over, we're all going to play Sunsfan's custom game right now.
No.
A world exclusive first look.
So are there custom heroes in this custom mode, or is it only regular Dota heroes?
So technically, we have them in the files, but we're not going to enable them on launch because I'm actually debating whether we want to use custom heroes, to be perfectly honest, because the whole idea is to cater to people that are not wanting to learn a bunch of shit. So I'm debating back and forth on that one.
No debate. Don't do it.
Well, having a business plan is a good idea, yes.
I mean, part of it's going to be based on the feedback from people when we launch. So it's possible that eventually we come out with a second map on that mod that has the custom heroes. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But
all right.
You can unlock custom heroes after 1,001 games.
Wow.
What if people listening want to help / play this? Can they do that?
Can they donate? You got a Patreon?
So, well, for this
podcast,
no, not yet. But yeah, I don't really want to advertise it because it's in alpha still. I mean, if they watch my stream, I play it. But if it ends up like making it to Reddit or whatever, I'm gonna have to fucking close the mod, just private it, so nobody can play shit. But it's only a couple weeks away, so we're pretty close. So it's been a long time coming, and even if it doesn't come out to do anything, I enjoyed it because it's the thing I like to do in esports, as you guys know, is be a part of like different projects that I can learn a lot about. I learned a lot from the first mod, which failed horribly. I learned a lot from Midas Mode 2,
which was a smashing success.
Let's say it was in the middle. But no, I've learned a shit ton about mod making. Obviously, I can't do anything myself, but from like a project lead standpoint, I think it's been stressful but fun.
And you can look forward to relearning all of that when they put out a new patch and completely change the API and how custom games work.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue. I think one thing that I do like about the mod that people might not like initially is that we haven't changed the balance of the heroes at all. Because if a patch comes, then it's just auto updated. Actually, you don't have to do anything.
Right,
so unless they do something weird, it fucks it up. Like for example, they got rid of shrines. We have a shrine in our map. So if you're into the old school shrine idea, there is a shrine.
Yikes!
But, like when they got rid of it, it fucked up like the cooldown and stuff like that. So we have to redo them. It's pretty fast, honestly.
Sunsfan, what would you do if when the battle pass hits, the custom game is exactly the same as yours? What would you do? What if they went in there, they saw your stream, they fucking
it's called
everything.
GOP.
It's called
They're gonna team fight recap that shit.
Instead of pawn, it's called champ. And it's exactly the same. What would you do?
I'll be pretty upset, not gonna lie. I mean, it's one thing to work on something for a month and then somebody takes it and does whatever the fuck they want for like better part of a year now. I'd be pretty upset. Like the Mars thing was more flattering than anything because Mars is like super fucking similar. It's not just the ult either. Super similar to the hero that I made.
Here comes
But
Jeremy Kahn, the conspiracy.
Their lore is not nearly as strong as Jeremy Kahn. That's where I have them. The brother of Axe, you can't beat that shit. Mars is just some Spartan. Come on, it doesn't compete at all.
He's the god of war. What do you mean
he's fucking garbage? Axe
could be the brother of Axe. The truest god of war. Jeremy Kahn.
Oh, Jeremy, I miss you so much.
Well, good luck with it, Sunsfan. I hope it works out. Man, Patreon, huh? Patreon.
Cut the bullshit.
Patreon. Don't pat people on the head and give them a little bit of cash.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the pay. I always think about that epic grand explosion. You're out here with your Patreon out and your custom game. If you really wanted to do it, you just fucking make it. You wouldn't ask for the money. I think about that clip regularly when I see links to Patreon.
Jesus.
You know what I'm
My
talking
goodness.
about. That was an iconic grand moment. What was that on
That
Dream
was.
I
League?
actually don't remember that at all.
He regretted it.
Yeah, he went in, dude.
It turns out you don't want to make enemies out of everyone that's ever liked a custom game. I don't think he.
It turns out a lot of people use Patreon.
Yeah, that was old Grant before he calmed down, stopped drinking every night, before he switched to Dr. Pepper. That was back when Grant was insane.
It was that sweet spot where he was still insane, but just starting to get tier 1 gigs. So he just popped up in Dream League with that fucking afro. God damn, I love Grant.
Oh man, that hair was good. That hair was legendary.
It really was. So how about Artifact? Speaking of games that aren't going anywhere, Slacks.
Yeah, I really wanted to talk about this.
What do we got here, bud? Break it down for us.
Fucking Artifact, dude. I've said publicly I never thought this game would come back. I thought that it was fucked. It would never return. And they have blog posts that they are doing it and they are working on it. Almost like a day after the 1 year long haul post, they fucking said they're doing it. Unbelievable. I can't wait. I'm trying not to hype myself up again because I feel like I was directly responsible for killing the game.
Card game ever.
But
I was on the same boat. Who's kidding?
It was. Everyone's stupid. Artifact 1 was a fantastic game. Now the monetization, and now it's coming back. I can't wait. I cannot wait. At this point, this is what I call a heel move. All right. In wrestling, The Rock, they have like a bad guy and a good guy, right? Mm-hmm. The bad guy is called a heel. And they found that no matter what they did, the heels were always the most popular ones. And they could be as evil as they want, but you go from hating something, you hate it for so long that you actually kind of like it. I mean, that's my entire career is being a heel. I think Artifact has reached heel status. It's been such a meme of being so shit that people actually want it to succeed now. So we'll see what happens, man.
That's a good point.
Richard Garfield is dead.
He has been fired for over a year now. Let's hope that makes a difference.
Is gone. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, are there any details about the model?
Too.
Do we have any? I saw some people saying that it seems like you're not going to buy cards anymore. That whole thing is gone.
Seems to be.
So what about the poor
it says
suckers?
In the beta, you can't buy cards.
Oh.
So
what happened to the
might
poor
be packs and
suckers
stuff.
that were stupid enough to buy cards before? Are those just like Bitcoin going to zero? Is that what's happening?
Who fucking cares? You know?
Yeah, fucking
I go out to eat. I spent $30 on a meal. It's not good. What, am I gonna fucking cry about it? Boo-hoo! 2 years later.
Even though Slacks is kidding, I was saying this as well. I think that they should and they will do something for people that purchase. I mean, they get beta access earlier.
Version.
That's something, but they should definitely give you something. I don't know what. It depends on what their cosmetics are going to be like. Yeah. Are they actually going to have like the Hearthstone / Runeterra type cosmetics on each card? I'm not even sure that's going to be in the beta.
Now? Or do you mean like the gold versions?
Oh, the gold version.
I mean, let me lay it out for you. Why in Artifact didn't they just have the card play, the hero stands on top of it, and you get to use cosmetics just like Dota?
Who knows? Why, when they were pushing VR, didn't they just make it like Yu-Gi-Oh? These are the questions I asked.
Oh god, that should come out with Artifact.
Is there a
Yu-Gi-Oh? Kidding?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like how you're dueling with the 3D monsters. That would be fucking sick, dude. Why don't they
got
make
the
a
Half-Life
Yu-Gi-Oh
Alyx
VR
shit now? You fucking slam that shit out. I summon Axe. He comes out, big dick. He's like fucking naked and shit like that. It's what everyone wants.
Huh?
Yeah. That's what everyone wants, a big fat dick in their face.
Whoa.
Anyway, based on Midas Mode 2, that axe swinging his dick around might have been one of the most popular parts of the tournament. We know the audience.
True.
Okay.
Slice this.
I think Pimp had way too much fun with those, though. To be perfectly
way
honest.
too much.
Just a little too obsessed with the.
Yes, he likes dicks.
The dick
it's
line,
true.
if you.
All right. Anyway, Artifact is coming back. I can't believe it. I'm trying not to get hyped up.
Remember when we had a conversation a year ago and you called me an idiot? Well,
What?
we've had a lot of these conversations, I guess. So I need to narrow it down concerning Artifact coming back. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's no way they don't do something, because you can't have like this black stain on the carpet and do nothing about it. You at least clean it up a bit.
Haven't you seen
know,
Big
but that
Daddy?
sounds
You
like a
just
whole
put
relaunch.
in
newspapers
your
over it.
house? Do you have a stain, Sunspan? Don't lie to me.
I do have a stain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how stains work.
My old chair used to leak like that oil shit on the ground, and it's just stuck there.
Should have bought a Herman Miller, bitch.
Yeah.
Damn!
Those
But
free
anyway,
gamer
with,
chairs. That's what that shit is.
With yeah, pretty much. With Artifact, I am personally very excited, as you might imagine. But they were pretty vague in the post, so I don't know what to expect. They talked about how they're working on stuff so you can zoom out more, but the way that I read it was weird because you could already zoom out, so I assume you're going to be playing the game zoomed out for the most part.
That's what they made it sound like. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to work. I think obviously the monetization was a big thing, so that's going to make a huge difference. But there's also the mobile aspect. I think it needs to be on mobile immediately
Yes.
God.
or shortly
Yes.
thereafter. I think that was a huge mistake.
That
I
was
mean,
the mistake, dude.
Artifact failed like for a multitude of reasons, which we've gone over before. But the biggest one was just the way that they did the beta. Let's be real. I was in it for a year, and pretty much everybody complained about certain cards, and they did not change them at all. And then when everyone started hating them when the game was released, they changed them within like 2 weeks. After a year of people telling you these cards are fucking garbage.
I
Cheating
really
death is
liked the
fucking
mono
garbage.
blue decks. They were so much fun to play against, and they were also a lot of fun to play. And when it was mono blue on mono blue, oh my god, I had blue balls for days, boys.
So that's actually the main reason I don't play Artifact right now, is because they never updated mono blue. That is just fucking kill me. You just delay the game until round 10, then you just win. It's the worst experience of playing a game I've had.
Wow, that is a Richard Garfield game. He really likes blue. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh god.
I played Magic. I was a blue player. Counterspell. Counterspell.
see,
Oh, is it the
thing
10th
is,
turn
I
yet?
feel like
How
the
many lands do I
perception-
have?
The perception of the game was maybe not fair at the same time, right? Because I think the gameplay, I liked it personally. There's many things that I loved about it, but the monetization was like 80% of the reason it failed. I think just people immediately hated it, so they hated everything else as a result. It was just like a snowball effect.
I mean, Hearthstone is a very different game, but I think that set the standard in people's brains of like, Hearthstone's free, and then I can buy shit. I have to buy this shit and then buy shit. What the fuck, man? And that was like a hard stop for way too many people.
It was just too easy to grind on Hearthstone. I remember I played when it first launched. I played a ton of Hearthstone, and I played it for months and months without spending a single dollar. And I was like, this game was really good, and I spent $8, and that was my total investment in Hearthstone. But I had like every card for the first while. Played arenas for free. Never had a cost issue. But I mean, also Hearthstone was just stupid easy. It was just like, it wasn't complicated like Artifact.
I'll never forget that one hub. I don't know, was it a TI qualifier? But it was like Hearthstone came out right as that event was happening, and all of the Dota talent were just fiending Hearthstone. Like, Greg was there.
Yeah.
Greg Laird. I remember watching him. It must have been a TI thing. That was the NA hub versus EU hub. That's what that was. That was the classic.
Yeah, Marlini was playing like crazy.
Yeah, James Harding hired girls. We didn't, and then we lost. I remember that. Sure, that was.
But going back to Artifacts, the thing that's crazy if you think about the beta, not only did people complain about certain cards that never ended up getting changed until after release, they didn't test the monetization model at all. It was a week before they released the game, so we'd been in the beta for 10 months. Then they slapped on whatever the monetization. I don't understand that. They were just so confident that monetization model would work, and that literally destroyed the game.
Still
We'll see
blame
what happens. I'm
Auto Chess.
excited.
That game needed 2 fucking updates. 2 fucking updates, and it would have survived. But Auto Chess came. And then everyone said, why play this when Auto Chess is better? And oh my fucking God. It's all Auto Chess's fault. That is still a good game. It just needed to get fixed a little bit.
How is Underlords doing?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Not great.
Because I was actually going through my Steam library, and I was clicking through the months, and I noticed August 2019 was the last time I played Underlords. And that was because I was at the hub and had to play it online.
I think
or on stream.
I had to play.
Well, yeah, we were streaming. I was at the hub.
Wait, I think that's
I
the last
literally
time
had
I
to
played
play.
it too, Trent. We played it at the BTS studio to fill time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the last time I loaded up that shit.
I just finished casting ESL Mobile, actually, which is Underlords. Probably the last Underlords event that will ever be, most likely.
So
I think I don't know exactly how Valve looks at it, but I think there's some things that they probably don't like about it, how it went, and some things that were positive. The bad things, obviously, they just copied a game that there's like 10 versions of now. People didn't like the Underlords themselves. I thought the name of the game, I don't understand why they would call it Underlord when there's a fucking hero called Underlord, but that's just me. But nobody actually liked the mechanics behind the Underlords themselves. They were supposed to have like, I think it was like 8 to 16, and they ended up only having 4 because the reception wasn't great. But they did get to put it on mobile. It runs really well on mobile. I think it's really nice.
That's true.
So that's like the first Valve game I want to say that's been on mobile. So that at the very least is a good test bed for them. From a streaming perspective, it was never really going to be a big streaming game. So I don't know if they even care about that personally.
Was pretty good at first.
Like
when people wanted to learn and actively play, there was so much streaming content from Underlords.
I actually don't know if Underlords was like Valve's fault that the game didn't take off, because auto chess hasn't taken off to my knowledge. I think the genre was just a fad. I think the game was really fun when it came out. There was this cool little, like Trent said, it's fun to learn, and it's a little bit competitive with RNG. It was quick and snappy, but it wasn't satisfying long term compared to like Dota or PoE or any of these other games that you could play. And I mean, isn't Teamfight Tactics
TFT
also
is winning
down compared to where it was?
Well, yeah, it's definitely down. I mean, TFT is definitely the winner of all the auto battlers, but actually, maybe Hearthstone's auto battler. It's pretty popular, actually.
Hearthstone has an auto battler?
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
that.
it's weird. It's weird looking.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like the.
Really?
it's
I've
not the
never
same
heard
as
of
the
that.
rest.
You know,
I
I did
can't
get
remember the name.
2
Battlegrounds, maybe?
actually. RPF request for proposal for actual auto chess events, like the official version that's really was popular in China. And I'm pretty sure they couldn't get anyone to run the tournaments, because the first proposal was like, hey, we've got the venue. You can pay for the prize pool and the production, and you can own it. You want to do that? No one responded.
No.
3 months later, hey, we'll cover the prize pool. You guys want to do it? No one responded, and I never got a follow-up email after that.
Yeah,
Sad
the
times.
ceiling for auto battlers only goes so high. I think that's what we learned in the past year.
Yeah.
It's fun for a while, and then it kind of just drops
Kind of
off.
like PUBG. Am I right?
Right, yeah, like battle royales, you know? I mean, you had Apex Legends come out, Fortnite, PUBG, and everyone's like, this is forever. Everyone loves this. And then they just go back to good games. So it's, just that fad shit. So I got to say, though, I am not afraid to say that I have always hated what auto chess did to Artifact and what happened with Underlords, where everyone just fucking ran from Artifact and abandoned my baby. But I will say, when they released the game, they had a single player campaign, and I actually still go back and play
City
that
Crawl.
once in a while. City Crawl is fucking lit.
Well,
so
I think at the end of the day, this is going to help Artifact more than any other game, because they got to test a bunch of shit. Like, they got more in contact with the community like they've never done before. You can tell the complete attitude change of like the blog post, like the way that it's written, completely different. And Artifact is maybe even the same person writing it, for all we know. I think they got a lot of data that they can use to help Artifact get to the next level. The problem with Artifact, though, and the thing I'm scared of, like the ceiling that it had when it first was released, like let's say everything that did, they didn't do all the negative stuff, the ceiling was really high.
super high.
I don't think it can be nearly as high anymore. It can still be a good game, but it can, like Runeterra is already out, right? That's kind of the issue. There's a ton of fucking games in this genre now that have established themselves beyond any shadow of a doubt. So Artifact can be good, it can be successful, but it cannot have a ceiling as it used to. I don't think it can never be that high.
And then I don't know if I'll still like it, you know? Artifact's biggest problem is that they set out to make the Dota 2 of card games. And you want to know what? They did it. Yeah. And that's what fucking killed that game. Is because it was the hardest, best game ever made. And now, they want to go make fucking...
hardest, best game ever made.
Now they want to go make auto chess for the fucking drooling masses. I'm very worried that it's not going to be as difficult. And the Dota 2... Because, I'm sorry, card game players are fucking morons. Sorry to break it to you, Richard Garfield.
Sorry, Trent.
But if you weren't stupid, you wouldn't pay $50,000 for your fucking Magic collection. That's the whole thing. They're fucking idiots. So of course they're not gonna like sophisticated, smart gameplay because they're fucking stupid. So that's what I'm worried about.
For some reason that reminds me of, have any of you crossed the picket line and watched any Call of Duty with not only the Warzone, they've got their little dabble in the whatever that genre is called, everybody free for all bullshit, Battle Royale.
Yeah, that's Warzone. That's Battle Royale.
And CDL, the sort of almost Overwatch League clone, but slightly different.
What? Where do I watch that? I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah,
Does that exist?
Actually, dude, unironically, I kind of forgot about it because it's not on Twitch. Fucking hell.
Am I the only one? I'm not excited enough that I'm going to cast it by any means because I know I can never jump that ship. I burned that bridge a long time ago.
Oh, here it is, the V word.
I'm a little bit excited about Valorant. I might be horribly disappointed when it comes out, but I'm a little bit excited.
Well, so do you guys think the reactions are organic? Because if you've been watching Slasher's Twitter, this has been some of the juiciest Twitter arguing of some people like Slasher defending the streamers. It's all organic. There's no hashtag ad. Riot's not paying anybody. And then you get these other people chiming in like, it looks like their tweets were carbon copies of each other. How do you explain that one, asshole? What do you guys think?
We're talking about again, I'm never working for Riot, so I don't have to worry about burning bridges at this point. It's long burned. But I think I have an episode of our podcast named something just shit talking Riot, for example. But anyway, yeah, it's Riot. What do you expect? Of course, they're going to pay people off. But the thing I'm excited about Valorant is, first of all, I don't think it's going to touch Counter-Strike, just because at first it looks like a hybrid between Counter-Strike and Overwatch. But after looking at it with the fantasy elements, Counter-Strike is Counter-Strike. Nothing's going to touch it. But the thing I'm excited about is we can finally put an end to the discussion about fucking Overwatch. That game is garbage. It's always been garbage. And this game will most likely destroy it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to kill it.
That in itself, I'm happy about. Like, holy shit. Stop with the Overwatch garbage, please.
You're not worried about the fallout, though, of OWL crumbling, the hundreds of millions of dollars, all those poor, rich, old white guys
They'll
losing
learn their
money?
lesson and invest in Dota, which has not died since the inception. Thank you.
That's right. There's one thing Riot's good at. It's making content for stupid people. Blizzard is always straddling that fucking level of, oh, Diablo, oh, Overwatch, oh, World of Warcraft, oh, all of our other IPs. But this is it. Riot are the kings of making Dumbo content. They're going to fucking slay it on Valorant.
Yeah, they're going to destroy Overwatch.
Yeah.
Overwatch is gone.
But when they came out with their post, their original reveal, if you will, the wording of the article was hilarious because they're obviously bashing mostly Valve, which, to be fair, some of it is like the fact that, and this has still been a thing somehow, 66 tick servers in Counter-Strike. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? How is that still a thing, man? That's so stupid. Like, it's so noticeable the difference between 120 tick and 60 tick. So that's one thing they're going to get right. But I think they're trying to take the fight to both companies. And again, Counter-Strike is just, it's not like hyper realism. It's not like America's Army, which was like one of the worst games ever made, but it's set in stone. Counter-Strike is just its own thing.
Counter-Strike's going to be fine.
I agree.
The gameplay,
I'm sure it'll
they
drop
tried to make it as much like they could, but
Yeah. Counter-Strike's getting a bump right now, right, of people legitimately practicing for Valorant. Like they're getting increased player base at the moment, which is kind of funny, but and some of those people are probably gonna be like, wow, CSGO's kind of ownage. And in some ways, now if Valorant doesn't live up to the hype,
Wait a
they're gonna be
minute.
like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna go back to playing CS.
Hold up.
Valve's plan working all along.
All these Overwatch players are coming in. Wait, hold on a second.
we're going to find out real quick
cool.
how long that hundreds of millions of dollars can last for Overwatch. Because they're coming out with Overwatch 2, a.k.a. the expansion that they're calling a sequel.
AKA the story mode.
Dude, the game is a
DLC.
fucking disaster. It's been a disaster from the beginning, and some people just drank the Kool-Aid and have just never stopped drinking. But
I never
they're gonna get a rude
understood
awakening.
the people that couldn't separate out the desire for it to be successful with the objective reality of it not taking the steps to be successful. I don't want it to fail because I don't want to deal with the negative blow to esports at large. But that doesn't cloud my judgment in recognizing that shit is fucked. And especially now that they can't do the homestands, that was like a whole key piece of their goddamn business model. And now with the virus, that shit's out the window as far as I know.
I always make the
Are
comparison
you telling me
to...
YouTube gaming won't save it?
It saved their stock price because all those dipshit day traders are like, Google owns YouTube. This is the biggest partnership that Blizzard could have come up with. And it's just like, yeah.
I always make the comparison of Overwatch
Almost.
League to CGS. We've talked about this before, right? This is an old league in like the early 2000s. That was a bunch of games amalgamated into one. It was hosted or sponsored by DirecTV. It was like the first non-endemic sponsor that had a major.
Yes,
fucking
I have
tournament.
taken a car ride with Red Eye in my day.
Yes, and that was a disaster.
I know a thing or
and
two about CGS.
It set back esports quite a bit.
Now, you
And I
guys
was
might
thinking-
not know this, but I went to Los Angeles for something called CGS. I left my family. I moved there. The first big esports.
That's
There were
too
minute
real.
games. We had a point system. I had to cast so many different types of games.
But yeah, that was
2
the whole
days
thing. It was
later.
a point
I haven't
system.
tell you guys about the time at CGS.
It was a point system
Sorry,
across
Paul, I
all
love
these
you.
different
It's
titles.
so true.
So like trying to normalize points of like digital tennis versus Counter-Strike is like, I don't know how you do that.
Well, see, actually, I don't even think that was the issue. That was one you could say it wasn't perfect, but I like the idea behind it. The problem is you're drafting teams or drafting players into teams, which doesn't work in esports structure at all because orgs have their own fucking rosters at this point. It's especially now. It wasn't as much so back then, I suppose. And then you had commentators like again, I love these people individually. Like DJ Wheat and Fatality. They were the main casters for Counter-Strike, which was the main game. They didn't know shit about Counter-Strike, honestly. It hurt a lot. But anyway, back to my point. That hurt esports a lot. You didn't see a lot of non-endemic sponsors get into the scene until much later. I thought the same was going to be the case for OWL, but I think esports will take a bit of a hit, but it won't be nearly the same because we've just expanded so much since then that it's
Agreed.
kind of whatever.
There's enough successful esports leagues like Rocket League and stuff that are at least good examples you can look to and be like, see, this is fine. And you can point out exactly what Overwatch did wrong. They took a game and just forced it to be Red Eye.
Now,
Like,
I gotta tell you guys what I'm.
sorry, did I say Red Eye? I was
Yes.
reading a comment. Sorry, they took it. They
Yeah, I
tried
was
to
really
make it.
thinking about where that rip was
I
coming
tried
from.
to read and talk at the same time. So anyway, they took a game and forced it into esports before it was a good game. But Red Eye and esports are synonymous, which is why
True.
I got
Ah,
it mixed
yeah.
up.
Right.
I mean, they
See,
fucked
he
up.
likes that. I know you like that, Paul.
I've said it before. They should have made Hearthstone the competitive one and Overwatch the casual one. They fucked it hard.
Yeah.
Hearthstone used to be a good game.
Wow, that's a pretty big slam on Overwatch, dog.
I mean, have you played it before?
This RNG card game is more competitive than a shooter.
Well, they made it like
Shooter.
super RNG after they made that decision because there was a point in time where Hearthstone was actually super competitive.
Yeah,
right?
it was good.
Well,
when it first came
and-
out.
Guys,
Then
remember.
they came out with Overwatch, like, oh, we can't have two esports. Let's have one and just
Well,
make this.
no,
the
you
casual.
guys are forgetting the long lost love of Blizzard Entertainment. Heroes of the Storm. Gentlemen, before Overwatch, Heroes of the
I
Storm
totally-
was going to be
I
their
did
premier
forget that.
esport
Aw.
that would take over the reins of StarCraft, and they wanted Hearthstone to be the little kiddie game. But of course, we all know what happened. They did Heroes of the Dorm, exclusively broadcast on ESPN cable. Very smart idea to launch that brand. And
Kids
then-
love cable.
And then that's exactly in touch with our demographic, I tells you. And then, of course, they pulled the plug after announcing their giant league after orgs had already
that was sad.
like committed to players and signed contracts. They're just like, nope, pulling that rug out. And we're going to wait to the last minute because that's the best thing for our stock price because ATVI. Oh, Blizzard, you fucking clowns.
Yeah, that was
what,
shit,
what
dude.
would have happened if they picked up Dota when they could have?
Not exist.
None of our careers would exist
would've
because
just
that
turned
game
it into
would
Heroes of the
already be
Storm.
dead.
Axe would be currently be riding on a unicorn, and
I'd still be
Diablo
selling
would have
Norton.
been added in, and
I don't mind a unicorn personally. I mean, Techie's basically looks like one at this point.
Mm.
The pink elephant.
now Slacks, are you
Ogre could
excited?
be riding on a chicken.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
chicken.
Oh, no. Are you excited about this
Sponsored by
Command and
Chick-fil-A?
Conquer reboot or whatever it is? Isn't there a Command
What?
and Conquer? They're doing like a remastered version of the. Are you a Command and Conquer fan? Am I crazy?
I'm pretty dumb, so I love those kind of games, but I'm very bad at them. I can only play them on the N64. However, I will.
N64.
That's right, Command
An
and Conquer
RTS game.
Yes, Tiberian Wars. All right.
Oh, dude, I didn't know this was coming out. I used to play Yuri's
Hell
Revenge.
yeah.
I love that game.
Yuri's
on
Revenge!
PC. Yeah, that was the version.
I will
played.
say, I will fight for those games until I die, much like I fight for another medium that I love, claymation movies. Because they use real actors in the cutscenes and it fucking cracks me up. I love it. Nobody else is still doing this shit. Command & Conquer still. Kane still comes out and he's like, "What's up, motherfuckers? I'm bald." You're like, oh, it's great. It's just like that stupid clay people. Like nobody watches their dumb movies. Like Kubo and the Two Strings. I was there fucking opening day. So good. It's so good. It's a dying art form, and you should support it. So I support Studio Lacus, and I support Command & Conquer because we need more live action cutscenes. They crack me up.
Yep. Someone just reminded there was a StarCraft version on N64 also. How the fuck?
I played that too. That was really good.
How could you? That sounds painful.
Back in the day, I had console hands. You know, the best one was Halo Wars, an RTS created for consoles. And it was basically rock, paper, scissors. Planes beat ground units beat some bullshit.
Units or C units or something.
Yeah. Oh, what a game. I always thought I was so good, and then I played multiplayer, and I just instantly died, and I felt so fucking dumb. Nothing makes me feel worse than that. I've never won an RTS game in my life. Oh,
what?
I'm watching the N64 version, and the cursor moves so slow. Oh my god, that would have driven me insane. But it did exist. It was a real thing.
Have you guys set up any of the old consoles during the quarantine? We actually did dust off the N64. I bought a memory card on Amazon for $30 so we could play Gauntlet Legends and save our progress.
I've been emulating a lot of old games that are at my parents' house who I can't visit, so that I feel like that's cool. But yeah, I've been playing some old games.
Emulating.
I'm playing some Goku, Mystical Ninja.
Hey!
Dude, those old school games you played as a kid, you go back and play them, you're like, oh my god, this game is so ugly.
Yeah.
The nostalgia makes it so worth it. Oh, I'm having a great time.
I'll say that on every game but Jet Force Gemini. I went back and played that game on the N64. That's the most violent fucking game that ever existed.
I think we have that actually.
Jet Force Gemini. You're walking around on an N64 Nintendo console shooting a bug and his fucking head flies off. There's blood everywhere. Your character goes up. He picks up the head. Holy shit. That was wild. That's what ruined my life. Made me desensitized. Just in there massacring shit when I'm like 9. It was awful.
So are there any other games we need to talk about before we get into Dota? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
No.
Anyone excited about Wild Rift? That's going to be a good one, right?
Dota. All
right. Well, okay, before Dota, how about the World Health Organization? Video games officially a healthy activity, gentlemen. How far we've come. Not too long ago, they were just posting about the addictive nature of video games, and many a gamer on social media have been all too eager to point out this potential hypocrisy. Slacks, I need the neuroscience breakdown here.
The WHO wants money. Congratulations. They wanted to hate video games so people would give them money, and now they don't want to pay for things if people go outside because there's a virus, so keeping them inside saves them money.
Oh,
surprise.
I see.
They want the money. But I don't know. I mean, they're wrong. Video games are not a healthy activity. I had a full head of hair before I played Dota. So
that explains
it will
so
fuck
saying
you
it's
up.
Not genetic at all.
All right, I'm ready.
No, pure stress.
We're talking about the World Health Organization, Trent, and their announcement of how video games are now healthy. Of course, I think what a lot of people miss in that article is video games are healthy relative to catching the virus. That was the
relative
key caveat.
to death. You know, crack is healthy relative to blowing your fucking brains out.
Relative to pneumonia. Yeah, Command & Conquer's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of thoughts on that. Nice recommendation. Social ways to, as the chief medical officer of Nova Scotia says, I don't necessarily like the term social distancing because we should be trying to encourage more social activities. However, you need physical distancing. So check in with your loved ones as much as you can. Which made me laugh.
That's nice.
Good old Canada.
Physical distancing.
Yeah. Physical. I'm practicing emotional distancing because I'm afraid everyone's going to die.
That's
I'm trying.
That's solid.
Good plan. Good plan. A lot of discipline there. So how the pub's going,
anything.
Boys? Who's been
We've
playing
talked
Lycan?
about how many fucking times do you want to talk about the pub?
I want to talk about your
pubbing
pubs.
lately?
This is the 4th time you brought it up. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Like Zyori just wants to talk about how he's being carried by Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Legendary
Zyori,
North
would you like to tell us about your pub?
Yeah,
Boy,
come out of your
Python.
fucking pub, Zyori.
let me tell you about position 4 Witch Doctor, okay? You go in the off lane, you get some points in Maledict,
Everything you say is irrelevant. You're being carried by a Lycan
you
spammer.
go Aghanims first, the Lycan presses Hal, you kill all of them with your ultimate, you win the game. It's the greatest strategy created in the last couple months. I'm loving every minute of it. Trent was poo-pooing on the Witch Doctor,
Poo-poo.
and I don't know why. Trent's just a hater.
All right. Let's talk about
Probably
real
not like
shit.
Witch Doctor, all right? That's why.
Y'all want to talk about real shit?
Please.
Is TI going to happen?
No.
No. Well, what do you mean by going to happen?
Is it
On those
going to happen in August?
No.
No.
And all the idiots that are saying, well, can't they just play online? No, it's called the International. You cannot do that. You can't have C teams playing against NA teams playing against EU teams. It has to be a LAN.
It's going to be in like November, December, I imagine.
Do you
yeah,
really
something-
think?
Everything.
You think you move it? I would just delay a year, personally.
Yeah, because doesn't that
See,
fuck up the
I
rest
don't
of the
under-
DPC? You've announced
Why
this
does that
whole
matter,
schedule.
though? Okay, look at it this way. So the NBA has a real debacle, right? Because
Yeah.
they have like all this money going into like the TV deals, all these dates set in stone. You have all these venues. Like actually is really hard to move stuff around. They probably will still finish the season and then start the next one a little bit delayed and then try to get back on track. For esports, who gives a fuck? You can do whatever the hell you want. You can say the DPC doesn't start until December and you have TI in November. It doesn't matter. So I think you definitely delay it. You continue with the season and maybe a little abbreviated version, and then you go on with your life.
I
don't
think
it's a big deal.
you do one more major or two possibly. I think you just try and make the LA major happen. It kind of sucks to force the TI, but
So
I feel like you
The
guys,
LA Major in the Philippines. Welcome everybody.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be in LA. That's for
So,
fucking
so
sure.
let's say they make
Yeah.
TI in December, though. How do you deal with the fact that all the DPC events leading up to it have been canceled? Like,
Yeah.
we only had
You
half the
don't.
season. So I would say you wipe this season off the face of the earth. You start fresh with the online leagues as they're supposed to. Then TI 10 is just
and you keep the
a
points
year
from
later.
this year.
Yeah.
No, I think
I
you
agree.
I think you wipe this. Well, you
I
use
thi-
this
you
year to
fucking
seed the
wipe.
leagues. But I think you just have to say this year's a loss, out of our control. The more you try to fuck with the system, the more it creates the cascade of fucking stuff up down the road. Correct?
Yep.
Do you
I
give
mean,
them a cash
December.
payout?
Why do you think delaying things and just let's pretend that TI just happens November every year from now on? Why is that a problem?
Because
cares when it
summer
is?
is the ideal time to do events.
Yeah.
People are on vacation. People watch more. There's more free time. They
Are
didn't
you
just
saying
choose
that
August
during-
because Gaben likes partying in August. It's the best time to do events.
Well, I think the main
Right.
reason they chose August is because they wanted the game to release in September, which is what they did, right? I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
they're
almost
delaying
like
the release
that
of
was
the
the
game for
best
that.
time of year to announce things so people will buy stuff.
Yeah, let's say they have something in December or November, whatever the case may be. You're saying they're not going to fill up the stadium? It's sold out regardless. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is.
I think
I think it
that
doesn't
would
matter
be
at
a
all.
problem in Sweden in December. I
Yeah,
think
that'll
not a
bother
lot
It
of
doesn't
people
need
would
to.
want to go
No
there.
one says it's going to be in Sweden.
Well, that's the one thing that I think does have to stay the same.
It needs to be in Sweden. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, of course.
You could just have Sweden the next year. They get dibs on the next year.
Dibs!
I think canceling half the season
That's that what they call it in Sweden.
makes less sense
Well,
to me.
You have
But-
dibs.
How do
We
you
have dibs.
Sunsfan, my big concern is like, how do you do what is the fair way to do qualifiers for TI when you had this whole DPC system? Teams were planning on having these extra events to qualify. Like, what do you do with these teams like J-Storm or Business Associates that were kind of on the cusp? They just needed to make a run at one more DPC event. Those events are now canceled. How do you,
Well, you
decide?
you
who
have an
makes it?
abbreviated version of the major or two. I kind of agree. It would probably be one major instead of two. And you say, tough luck. You get one major to try to
Good-
qualify for TI.
Tough luck!
Top 16 teams.
You
Easy
know,
Who
peasy.
wants to
You know,
be a
Sunsfan,
millionaire?
That's what Blizzard said when they asked the devs, "Why are you putting in so many RNG mechanics? Doesn't that make it less fair?" And they say, "That tough luck. You could just play in another tournament."
Well,
you know?
you could
People
also
like
argue that
watching it.
it's not fair for teams that have already gotten all these DPC points so far this year. It's half over.
Correct.
Well,
I mean, it's the same
I
argument.
think you cancel out this whole year. You give those teams, it's like racing, they get a better position because they did better in the qualifiers. We start the new DPC. These teams already have 2,000 points or whatever, and you fucking roll it, baby. You
Yeah.
cannot fit in TI in December. That's not going to work. I think they got to cancel it for a whole year. And
Okay,
instead,
I will disagree with that.
all right.
They should do a battle pass, and they should use the battle pass funds to just cash out and pay people per DPC point.
Ooh.
I mean, part of it
Ooh.
depends on when
And
you
then
can
wipe it fresh
actually
for next year.
do
That's
a
an
LAN,
idea.
right? I'm assuming that December, November is going to be fine, but we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we don't know
Yeah.
that. That's for sure.
And I definitely would not fucking ride my dice on hoping to have another land and putting in all that money and shit on the presumption. I'd wait a whole year if I was going to cancel. And I would instead hold Midas Mode 4 August 27th. I'd pay $10 million for it.
Yeah, we
What happened
took
to
the,
Midas Mode 3?
we took the
Has anyone claimed the TI dates yet? I gotta check the calendar. Dude,
Oh, shit. Let's take it.
Let's take the fucking
All right,
dates.
we're taking the TI
We're taking
dates.
the TI
We
dates.
don't know what we're doing, but we're taking them.
This is the time for elimination mode. Prepare to be eliminated.
All right,
from
no
the
one's taking them,
DPC.
guys. It's currently labeled as lands confirmed. Well, I got some news for you.
Our land is
Yes.
confirmed.
Yes, in there.
Hell yeah.
Online
I mean-
LAN.
Literally, though, if TI got canceled,
Yeah, we're taking
they,
the dates.
they should do it a bit. It should be a mockumentary TI. It should.
Yeah.
The Tiger King TI.
Yeah, we can get the guy out of prison.
The
Have him show up
Pog
for a show.
TI.
The pop TI.
I mean,
why not?
yeah.
You know?
I think in these solutions, to me, you want to go as simple as possible, Sunsfan. I think you could come up with all sorts of really complicated scenarios, but aren't people already, like, the deadline for proposals for the 2020-2021 circuit was like yesterday. So what do you just tell all those people to eat shit now? Hey, ESL, really cool proposal. By the way, that's not happening. Oh yeah, that event you had planned in December, that's not happening either, because boom, TI's happening. Like the people that have already gotten fucked are getting like triple and quadruple dicked if you like double
Again,
it down.
I think from an esports perspective, I think you have way more flexibility than any other
Sure,
traditional
sure.
sport. So it's going to be way easier to do all that stuff. I don't think it's that big of a hassle, just extending everything. But at the end of the day, I just find it I would find it more strange to cancel a season completely. That's halfway through.
Yeah, but
Like if the NBA, let's say it was halfway through, it's 3/4 through, so it's maybe a little bit different, but halfway through, I can't picture a scenario where they will ever cancel an entire season. Like they'll have the players play in one location with no fans before they do anything else. Like
so what is the NBA
canceling
doing?
the season is like,
Is it canceled now, or
that's-
is it postponed?
no,
What's-
there's no way they're going to cancel. It's postponed for the next like couple months, month and a half now. And there's rumors that they're going to do exactly what I just said, where everybody
they
goes to
canceled
one
League
location.
for World Wars, and this is pretty much the same scale.
Not in the modern era, though.
Well, there hasn't been a World War in the modern era.
Exactly.
I
What I'm
was-
saying
one
is
I
it's,
didn't
it's
hear about.
easier, it's easier to reschedule stuff now than it's ever been, right? Like 80 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, but you don't know how
That's
long
totally
this
different.
thing's gonna go on.
Well, yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm saying. That part of it
Especially
is
with the
dependent
current
on
state of
knowing.
the-
Sunsfan, let me
America.
hit you with a little fact right here. You know the NHL ice hockey, or sorry, Trent, hockey, right?
Thank you.
The only year they did not award the Stanley Cup outside of the lockout was in 1919 because of the Spanish flu epidemic. They still played hockey during the World Wars, dude.
Damn.
they didn't have any good players, though.
Damn.
Well, but they still had the league. But like the Spanish flu, they shut that shit down. You think they wanted to? You think they were excited about putting the cup back up on the rack with no name?
Damn.
There's a
the
spot on the
Spanish
cup
flu,
where they
dude.
left it, and it just says, in honor of the Spanish flu. We canceled that shit. There's a spot still
In
on the cup.
honor. In
Thank you,
sacrifice to the
Spanish
Spanish flu.
I just watched the thing on the
Please,
Stanley Cup.
sacrifice. I mean,
We
you
get-
can draw parallels. I mean, that's the closest thing you can compare, but it's been literally 100 years, right? So
Yes,
things have
literally, it
changed a lot
has
since
been
then.
101 years. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure less people travel and spread disease now than back then. That's for sure.
Oh, but communication has changed everything, though. It's way different.
Yes, it's much
What,
worse.
they're gonna play the esports NBA dog? Is that the
The
plan?
NBA is doing a 2K thing now, actually.
Yeah,
They're-
exactly.
They're getting
Is
on
that
board
your
with the esports.
championship?
So, are you excited about this Suns fan, this NBA thing? Kevin Durant going to be playing NBA 2K? Are you going to watch? Why are you
Two
not
Suns
casting
players
this?
are playing. Of course, two Suns players are playing. I'm going to watch. No, I will not be casting.
Have you
Who
reached
is?
out?
Actually, I don't know. I have reached out. I've talked with the Suns, actually. Gave them some free consulting, if you will. because I thought their stream
It's
was
the only kind of consulting you do, from what I understand.
the Suns are
Ouch.
they were the only team to do the 2K thing. That was their idea, and now the NBA is copying them. So it's pretty cool, actually.
This
Happy to see
NASCAR
it.
shit's been wild. I know Trent and I have talked about it, but have you guys seen? You know, there was like an official NASCAR race on Fox Sports with NASCAR drivers.
That's great.
No,
Good for them. Good for those boomers learning technology.
Hey man, that is nice for us, dude.
I mean,
you know,
I
they're
thought
gonna
that
watch
was cool.
that. They're gonna see all those nice young lads and women on Overwatch League and be like, "This is all right."
No,
Yeah, I can
this
watch
is
Overwatch, and
all
suddenly
right.
Overwatch League is saved by the boomers
Now, this is all
because
right.
it's a game they can understand.
it was the first time I've seen YouTube comments from normies about esports that were positive. They were like, "Wow, this is pretty fucking cool. Look at that. Dale Earnhardt's driving a goddamn fake car."
Well, goddamn. Listen, NASCAR people don't care about fucking watching cars go left. Every single person that watches NASCAR is waiting for someone to die. It's the fucking most stupid bullshit ever. No one dies in a video game. That's never gonna work. All right.
I can remember being called in from the other room. My parents are huge NASCAR fans. I remember being called in from the other room when there was a big crash.
Yeah. They're like,
being
come on down.
excited.
I think he's
Actually.
fucking dead. It's like the only way that you can watch gladiatorial combat now is like, no, we don't want anyone to get hurt. Oh my God, that guy's gonna fucking die today.
That's why one day the Hunger Games will be a reality. I actually believe that.
That's why they're
I
still
believe
fighting
for
in
sure.
hockey, dude. Sells tickets. You ever go to a Flyers
That's-
game? All the highlights of the guys beating the shit out of each other.
That's esports.
That's just
all right?
Philly.
When
though. That's a Philly thing. I admit, Trent, that's not indicative of the NHL. That's just
I ain't saying shit.
the Broad Street. I saw that smirk. The Broad Street bullies are still in full force, dude. Look out.
I'm gonna say something. In 100 years, there's gonna be an esport where it's like Call of Duty, but when people die, they are massively electrocuted
They made a movie
and
about
put in
that.
a lot of
Okay.
pain, and
Remind
that is
me
going to be
100 years. Okay, all right, continue.
that will be the ultimate form of entertainment. It will be virtual people, but real world,
Dude,
horrible pain.
They literally made a movie about this. It's called Gamer. It came out in 2009. That's the
Oh
one
my
where
God, what a genius idea.
they took people that were like criminals in jail and then they made them play in this game and people could like control them and it was like a real
Oh,
video.
wasn't Gerard Butler in that?
I think so. It was pretty awful.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see it and it lost $8
Gerard
million.
Butler.
So
Well, oops.
not
okay,
great.
maybe that idea won't happen after all.
It's because it was too real. That's why people couldn't handle it.
Yikes.
Yeah, did you guys know that Gerard Butler is in a version of Phantom of the Opera that's fantastic, and he's the main, and he does all the singing?
Dude,
Are
I
you aware of
love
that?
Phantom of the Opera. Holy shit, that movie's so good, and it got such bad reviews, and everyone thinks Gerard Butler sucks at singing. I loved it personally, though.
Hell yeah, dude! That soundtrack
I love
owns. Sing
Dude,
it all
I
the
have
time.
that soundtrack. Yeah.
10
Dude,
out of 10.
you and me, Trent. I'm telling you.
I know. Ankylosaurus. I was showing Clifford the other day. Ankylosaurus. Getting that shit
Wait, is that how you
drilled
say
into
it?
his head.
Is that how
No,
you
he
say
can't
it?
say it? Oh wait,
No.
Is that how you say it? Ankylosaurus.
Yeah, I always say ankylosaurs. I never knew how to say it.
No, I believe it's Ankylosaurus. I took a dinosaur course.
Anklia. Wow, that's hard to say. All right,
Anklio.
I'll practice for next time. Okay.
Just
Thank
one
you.
thing. Yeah.
You know that
Yeah, he just says when he sees a dinosaur, he just goes rawr.
are movies
He's
still
on his way.
coming out? Like
He's on his
what
way.
what do you do if you were like filming a giant $100 million budget motion picture
Postponed.
and so all of them are just postponed now? They're not doing like digital releases and shit. They're just waiting.
Some
Oh,
of
shit,
them are
I've been
digital releases,
pronouncing it
but
wrong.
if they're what is it?
Ankylosaurus?
Okay, I was closer then.
Ankylo-
Ankylo? I say
Ankylo.
Ankylosaurus. Okay.
Oh, I gotta
thank
get the
God.
pronounce.
Yeah, I think movies are just pushed back like just a month or two just to
Okay.
see, and then it's probably going to get a little worse. So maybe a little bit more after that.
That's crazy.
So movies that are like not major productions will been released to online. By the way, not to hijack this with another movie, but you guys have to see The Gentleman. Holy fucking shit!
The-
Are
Best
you
movie I've
actually
seen in, like,
kidding me?
3
I
years.
saw that last night. That
Yes.
movie was astoundingly mediocre.
So what I've learned from Slacks is his
What
taste in
is
movies
good
and TV
about that
shows
movie?
is atrocious. You don't even like
You think
Leftovers
the
for God's
best
sake.
movie? Yes, you think the best show is The Leftovers. I
Oh,
dare
my
any
God.
one
What?
of you in chat to fucking watch season 1 of The Leftovers
No.
and see
You
if you
have
don't
to
want
get
to
through-
blow your brains out. All right.
Season 2 and 3 are what make it legit. Season
All
1's
right,
like
you only
average.
have to dedicate 100 hours
Didn't
before
that
the
show
show
get
doesn't
canceled?
suck.
Yeah.
Did it
Yes, it
end?
got canceled.
Yeah, so there's no conclusion. It's not worth watching. How
No,
could that
there
be
is a conclusion. There is a
Okay,
conclusion.
They wrote a
The
conclusion.
conclusion isn't shit, and so
Yes.
is The Gentleman.
That's
The
probably my
gentleman was
favorite
like
show of all
listening
time.
to Odie Pixel for like a fucking 2 hours about nonsense. Oh, yeah, Jimmy, you're going in and run up them
So
apples, and then you go to fucking what?
One thing I will say about The Gentleman and other movies like it, such as In Bruges, another classic,
Oh,
you have
here
to
we
watch.
go. There's
You
stuff.
have to watch with dialogue. All right, you have to watch with subtitles because their accents can be too much, and people like Slacks don't understand that subtitles are an option, so you don't
I
understand
watched
half
it
the
with
movie.
subtitles. They was still shit.
I'll bet you did. That's such a lie.
I
What do you
did
mean you
watch
don't
the
understand
entire
them?
thing.
Read it, for God's sake.
I was reading it. It's fucking stupid. The entire movie is with an unreliable narrator telling a story, and then
Hey,
they
don't
keep going
give anything
back.
away. Hey,
I,
come
The
on.
movie sucks.
Don't
it sucks.
Great movie.
I'm gonna
Great
watch
movie.
it. I'm very curious. I don't know anything about The Gentleman. I haven't seen any.
Wait, hold on.
spoilers.
Have you guys seen In Bruges?
Yes, I
No.
have.
Did you like In Bruges?
I did. I wouldn't say it's
All right,
like a top 3 movie, but I thought it was good. Top 20 or
All right,
some shit.
it's just like In Bruges. It's like Snatch. It's like those kind of movies.
Fuck
So,
off with In Bruges.
very good.
Every day I talk to you. What did this movie do? Can I tell a real quick story?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
The main character of The Gentleman, Charlie, whatever the fuck his name is, I know him as the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh yeah.
For-
Charlie
For
Hunnam.
ESL,
Hunnam.
for ESL LA, I went out to LA super early because we were like filming skits, and then it got canceled. And I brought my wife with me because she was gonna stay for like 4 days. I was gonna be there for like 3 weeks. And she gets with her sister, and they both go hiking. And they're hiking. They go up the mountain, and they see this guy walking down the mountain. He's got like a hat and his sunglasses and shit. They pass him, and my wife goes, "Wait!" She screams. The guy turns around, and he takes off his sunglasses, and she goes, "Are you? Are you?" And he goes, "What?" And she goes, and then she starts crying, and she falls down into a prayer position and starts doing this. And he was like, "The fuck?" And he walked away. It was Charlie, what's his face?
Wow.
And this literally happened 2 weeks
Wow.
ago. And now it's
I
all
think
full
it was him,
circle.
dude.
It was actually him. He said, "Yeah," and then he walked away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Yep. Bye. Anyway, that
Would you
movie.
guys do that to anyone? I think Ice Frog would maybe be the only person I would do that to.
What, like fangirl out like crazy and just not be
Well,
able to
like get
speak?
on the floor and kiss his shoes or whatever.
No, I don't think I do that to anyone, but yeah, I don't know.
Well-
Like, you mean like just starstruck, or you meet someone you're just like,
No, starstruck it can be for a lot of people.
don't
I
know
was
if I've
like
ever
that the
met a
first
famous
time I
person.
was next to Day 9 in person. I wanted to talk to him so bad, I just had like paralysis. I was just like, bye.
Yeah,
That
first
was
time
all
I
I
met-
said to him was bye. See you
I had
later.
the same experience actually with Day 9 NASL for Han. I was so nervous to meet him, and then when I finally did, I said, "They call me the Jewish Day 9," and he had zero reaction. And then we took a picture together where he's obviously fake smiling, and that is my only time I've ever interacted with Day 9 in my life. They call me Jew 9. That's what I said.
He was like, yeah, you seem like a
I
real
ran into the
cool
Trailer
guy."
Park Boys in the airport. I think that's like I
Oh,
don't, I
that's
don't think
hype.
I've ever met anyone famous.
I did the same thing to Hodor when he was at ESL Sunspan. I was like, "Can I take a picture?"
Hodor.
They call me Hodor in Dota. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, why is that?" And I'm like, "Because I'm tall and not very smart." And he goes, "Oh." Then we took a picture. Oh.
I wanted to meet Hodor. I danced to his fat beats, but I didn't get to shake his hand. I do remember at that after party, though. Remember that streamer McQuanis? She tried to go take a selfie with him while he was DJing and got stiff-armed by his bodyguard. She was very upset that Hodor would not let her take a selfie while he was working.
Oh, yeah. And then Hodor got mad and he played the music 10 times louder than anyone would
Yes,
have liked.
and then Hodor said, "You know what? I'm going to ruin all of your eardrums. We're going to crank it up to 11.
Attaboy. Fucking,
Thanks,
he
Hodor.
held.
Oh man, not missing the after parties. That's true. That's a nice one.
Oh, God, I hate after parties. We Play's the only people that did it right.
Anyone
we-
who gives you video games and food are just gods. That's all
Yep.
anyone wants, dude.
They
Everyone.
figured it out.
Yeah, karaoke's cool too.
Some light
it's
music
fine.
in the background, a little
Yeah.
bit of light music, but we don't need a goddamn dance floor, dude. Who's
I always have
dancing?
to dodge Cinderin in these after parties because he's the only one trying to get me to drink. It's like, you got to try this drink. You got to try this drink. Like, dude, I don't fucking drink for the
Well,
last
him
time.
and any of the
Cinderin.
CIS talent.
Yeah, well, they don't
Oh,
come to
God.
me. We're not on speaking terms. The CIS talent.
Whoa.
So
I don't drink enough for their taste.
the highlight of my after parties is
I
always
said no once. That was
sniffing
it.
out CC and C, dude. Quinn is always my go-to because he's young, so he can't drink at most of the parties. I don't know if he does anyway. He always shows up, but then he just sits there like, why am I fucking here? This party sucks. And I like talking to him. He's like the one
Party
real dude that
sucks.
you can have a conversation with.
So here's the thing about that deny at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got
Quinn's
the good
great.
shit.
Quinn's
I love
awesome, dude.
Quinn.
Dota. Have you guys watched any ESL? It's been pretty dope. I mean,
A
it feels
bit.
weird that we're like regressing back into leagues, but we've kind of done this before. We know how the whole online thing works. It's actually better than it's ever been. They have player interviews because the players, I think, are, maybe a little bit more apt to work with the organizer for once, simply because
Oh.
they know that they're stuck at
All
home.
it took
and-
was a fucking pandemic for that to happen. Boy.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, I mean,
The
it's
players
nice.
care about the fans because they're worried they won't have any more money? Interesting. Interesting.
But yeah, obviously lands are the best, but at least we have a structure to keep watching, and ESL's been really good.
Yeah.
The time zone's great for me. Sucks for you guys. I wake up at 7 or
Yeah.
6:30 with Clifford. There's Dota on. All my
Hell
favorite
yeah.
dudes are just casting Dota. I turn on, I got my earbud in.
I
Or
go to
something, I'm listening
bed.
to Cap and Grant and them.
I go to
great.
bed just as it's starting and wake up just as it ends. So I haven't watched any of it. As you might
Yeah, I am.
I've caught some of the NA stuff. That's about all I've seen. I haven't really watched too much of the other regions. The NA games are on surprisingly early. I don't know how they got the teams to
All
agree
of
to that.
NA and SA, yeah.
Yeah, it's like some of them
Are
start
they
like
NA
8,
maybe they're most of them are East Coast then.
8:30 a.m. Pacific. I can't
Yeah.
believe EG agreed to that, dude.
Yeah, I was
that's
surprised.
insane.
That
I
is
think
early.
EG will, all teams will agree to anything.
Although
They're very
I think
frightened.
some of it is because some of the NA teams have EU players that are in EU right now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
So I think that is probably a factor. But still,
Yeah, if they're playing. A lot of teams have stand-ins as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I
saw
noticed,
Bulbo was playing today, too.
dude, did you see that series against the Business Associates? Game 3, they went all in and just finished the throw-in with that sneaky little Terrorblade DP push.
Oh, yeah.
I had to PM Brax a
Dota.
sad face after that one. That was a brutal. So, dude, that was a tough one. That was an intense game. I was watching it with Carlo. I thought Business Associates had it.
I'm sure
Oh, I
he
miss Carlo.
appreciated that sad face.
He did.
I'm sure he wasn't feeling bad enough already. Then he knew he just let someone else down besides himself.
Well, Pop Tart
Yeah.
sent him a smiley face. It was in our PoE chat, so it was the appropriate venue. Don't worry.
Oh, I
Smiley
see.
face. Smiley
We
face.
hit him with the
I'm
old
sure that
Yeti.
game's doing well in a pandemic. I feel like a lot of people are going hard on the E. PoE.
Yes, Path
like
of
a good
Exile. The league launched like the day after the mega shutdown started. It couldn't have been better for the Path of Exile fans.
Are you gonna make all these people play? Do you recommend it?
I wrote that article about my top 10 favorite video games all time, and PoE was number 2. And I got a surprising amount of private messages of like, hey, bro, I saw that article, and I just wanted to ask, do you really think I should play PoE? Every single person, I'm like, bro, you should dive on in. Now is the
What
time.
was number one?
Is that a question?
Ocarina of Time.
Dota 2, big dog. You
I think
didn't
the
read
best
my
game-
article, Sunspan, you motherfucker.
Best game I've ever played was the first year of Heroes of Newerth.
Could
That
you-
one year was magical.
Han
Just
did not
magical.
make the cut on my top 10. Can you believe that?
Oof.
Wow.
I
I
purposely
mean, that's
chose
understandable
not
with
to.
Dota.
Exactly.
If Dota didn't exist, it would.
It felt
right?
like this half step. The game doesn't exist anymore. The dev was awful. All the heroes that made the game good were the Dota 2 port or the Dota ports. Most of them. Most of them.
That was your
10
history.
to 15 really good heroes. I
That
think.
didn't make it a good game, though.
Well, it probably just left a bad taste in your mouth because they shit the bed. But
stomping
I
on
don't
that
remember when you
Sunspan
got
nerve
into it.
right now.
Listen,
dude, that first year when Ice
Yeah.
Frog was still involved with Han, that was the best game I've ever played. That was
You know,
fucking incredible.
actually, now
Part
that I'm
of it
thinking
is
about
because
it,
we're
yeah.
coming from Dota to Han, so you have all these things like reconnecting, all this stuff
Yep.
that was never in any game before. So it's a little different, obviously.
it's true.
Uh,
I think
on
I'm still
expectations.
salty because after Sniff Sniff happened and I was at the lowest point in my life, the day after I got the email from S2 saying, it's fucking over. Don't talk to us again.
They fired you for that?
Well, I was not working for S2. I was contracting with Garena at the time. They emailed Garena and said, yo, cut this guy out. We don't want him anywhere near Han. So Garena fired me the next day. And the person that was my contact was nice enough to level with me. And she was just like, totally out of our control. They're the ones that pay the bills. They said, yep, cut him loose. And we had nothing, no recourse. So that was brutal. I mean, they didn't even send me like, are you doing okay? Are you going to commit suicide? Like, what's going on over there? It was just, this guy's fucking retarded. Fire him!
That looks like a pile of shit over there. Let me just...
He's got pubes. Fire him! It was brutal, dude. That was just like, that's some cold lotion right there.
They're making my top 10 list now. These guys are fucking guts. That's awful. Jesus.
I didn't even get the Zyori as an ass post on Reddit. They just wanted to wipe the history, pretend like it never happened.
Sometimes I forget that post exists, and then I remember it, and I think, well, that was a weird day. Gabe leveled with us. Has he ever leveled with us again? I don't think he ever came back after that.
No.
Gabe's only said 2 things since then.
No, he
Artifact is the card game, is the half-life of card games, and then he talked in a 40-minute interview on Alyx.
Hey,
that was it.
He said, welcome to Midas mode, guys. Are you forgetting
That
the most
is
proud
true.
moment? And even to this day, that might actually be my most proud Moonduck moment. Gaben introduced our tournament. And then we continued to make a mockery out of it for the next 10 days.
I paid
proud.
heavily for that. I served my time, Gaben. Let me loose. All right.
Oh, God. Okay, boys. Well,
wow, we did another one of these things, eh?
Yeah.
50.
Oh, I haven't laughed that hard in a
Topical.
while. That was fun.
Oh, shit.
What up, Tropical?
Topicals here.
I don't remember the last time I was on one of these things. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Well,
You
they
gotta
only come when there's actual things to talk about.
Oh, yes.
The yearly update.
All it took was a pandemic. A global crisis.
Literally,
The
what's
likes
the
of which
last thing
never
that happened
existed
since the
before.
last What the Duck? Honestly, some fucking team secret won some lands. Who cares?
You have a story for us, Sunsfan? How the cats doing?
They're good. No, I don't think I have any stories. Nothing interesting.
My cats are doing really well.
They're quite good.
They're good.
I can't even.
It's actually even hard to get cat food these days. It's crazy. And cat
They're
litter. People are
good.
stocking up not only on toilet paper, but cat litter. Can you believe
My
that
favorite
shit?
part about this podcast is Zyori says things that simply to spark conversation, and then Sunspan actually answers them as if that was the actual question. So how you doing? How's your life? How's your cats doing? The cats are very good. Alrighty. That's why I
good.
still
I'm not
show
gonna
up
ignore
to
a
this
question about my
podcast.
cats. Come on.
They're very nice, very good cats.
They're very cuddly. Yes.
Well, what should we leave the people with? Do we have some recommendations, content?
Give us a story,
games,
Zyori.
books?
Give
The
us a-
Gentleman. Watch it. Don't
Oh,
listen to
God,
idiots.
save yourself. Save yourself an hour and a half.
Maybe my next top 10 will be movies, Sunsfan. Will you read this one if I post my movie list?
I like movie rankings.
What
yes.
if after you posted that Aghanims article, I just got on a pie? I say, Sunsfan, what was the number 1? I didn't look at your article. What did you put
Well,
on there?
I didn't even know you had one. It's not like I saw it and didn't read it.
I'm so
When did you post it?
I don't
have
know,
no
a
idea.
week ago or something.
Keep in mind, I wake up at 4 p.m. and go to bed at 7
No,
a.m.
that's true. I
so-
did tweet it a couple hours
Yeah.
before you woke up. So, yeah,
Sunspan only reads news about China because that's his fucking time zone. He's like, oh no, what's going
China's
on?
doing great, actually. They've
Yes,
really nipped it in the bud, unlike
Yep.
America.
China's always doing great according to China. No offense. All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
no stories. Come on, people.
I'm trying to. I wish I had one. I didn't come.
Dude,
prepared.
I'm trying, but my whole life is just kids right now, and I don't really have a whole lot to give. Just the babes. My 2 boys.
the babes.
I got surgery for the first time in my life. I don't think it's interesting. though.
Hey, what'd you get surgery on?
Yeah, I did it a few months ago. So I had this issue for my entire life that I didn't realize was an issue until this, where if I stand in the same spot for a couple minutes, like I'm in a line at an airport or at Disneyland or some shit, my legs start to hurt real bad. I thought that was normal. I thought I was
The
just weak.
restless leg.
It wasn't restless leg. But the reason I went to the doctor is because I was starting playing pickleball.
Oh. My friend's
Which is a
parents
great
play
sport,
that.
by the way.
It's a dad sport. It's what like the boomers
Yeah.
play. But yeah,
What
go
the
That's
on.
what
fuck
old
is
people play.
pickleball?
It's actually amazing. It's like a cross between tennis and ping pong. It's so fucking fun, actually. But anyway, I started playing pickleball, and my feet would go to sleep during me playing. I'm like, what the fuck is? And my legs would hurt really bad.
That's because you don't
Like-
move. What is this game?
No,
Sorry.
you got to watch a normal game of it. All right, you move. There's a lot of volleying though, for sure. It's fun.
Oh,
So
you
yeah,
moved
I
all
went to the
right.
doctor, and they said that one of my veins in each of my leg is fucked up. It's relatively
Oh
common.
no. Yeah.
The blood goes the opposite direction that it should. So they cauterize the veins. First time I've ever been put to sleep for anything. And it's fixed. So I'm happy. Everything's
That's
good.
good.
Oh, well, excellent.
Wow.
What was the procedure like?
They cauterize the vein. They just stick something in my leg and they burn it up.
Like a lightsaber?
Did it hurt afterwards? Was there a recovery period?
Yeah. I mean, you can walk right away, but it hurts. Like,
Did they give
get
you
bruised
opiates,
throughout your whole leg.
Sunspan? Were you popping oxys?
No prescriptions or anything like that.
Oh, that's good.
So didn't
Stay
get
safe, bud.
didn't get addicted to drugs, thankfully.
Good.
That's good.
Good. I've got a small
That's
anecdote.
nice.
Slacks.
That's-
So
Slide.
I told like half the story on the shared tangos yesterday, but because of all the coronavirus stuff, I've stopped smoking. Okay, I'm a little afraid of pneumonia.
Smoking what?
The THC marijuanas. So
Oh, still,
I've
still
switched.
on that meth, huh?
Now I've switched to edibles, you see. Now, edibles in
Oh,
Colorado are highly regulated, very expensive, dare I say overpriced. So I decided to make my own. And I Googled the whole chemistry operation, right? You take the weed, you put it in the oven, you decarb it, then you boil it with the butter, and then you strain it, and then you got weed butter. It seems pretty straightforward. So I did it, and at the bottom of the article, I'm like, okay, well, how strong is this shit? I just put half an ounce of weed, a stinky, icky goo in here, and now I don't know how much do I eat? And it said, well, just take a couple of spoonfuls, and that'll be your base. And then you'll know how to dose after you eat the spoonfuls. So I did that. I took 2 spoonfuls at 8 p.m. 9 o'clock rolls around. I don't feel too much. I'll do 2 more.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
By midnight, I was on Mars, dude. I had a meeting the next morning at 10 a.m. with Trent Pax and a couple other folks.
DJ Wheat agreed to take time out of his busy day during his COVID-19 constant live streams where he's updating the world about everything going on, and he said, oh, I can make time in my busy life with my kids and recently moved and director at Twitch to have a quick meeting with these 2 idiots about their podcast to give them recommendations about college. And this motherfucker got so high he missed the meeting. So it's just me and DJ Wheat.
11 o'clock, and I'm the producer for the podcast, mind you. So 11 o'clock rolls around. I come back from Mars and look at my phone to about 50 messages and go, what the fuck is happening? Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I think I said to Trent, oh, fuck. I didn't mean to sleep that long. I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to tell everybody that I was on the marijuanas. But then I came clean. So, Slacks, the moral of this story is if you make edibles at home, be careful when you take the first dose because it might be stronger than you think. I cooked it too good. And now I got a whole thing of butter in the fridge that I'm afraid to eat because Mars was a little scarier than I thought it would be.
That's a good PSA for all these quarantine people because you know someone out there's doing it.
Yeah.
Someone's been thinking about this for like a week and they just heard this and maybe they'll measure themselves a little.
Yeah. And credit to Dakota, it did stink up my house. We hotboxed the fuck out of this motherfucker. Woo! So that was my big science fair experiment last week.
Good on you, buddy.
Smashing success.
My God.
So if you want to come over and eat some of my butter, bud, I
No.
gotcha.
Oh God! Don't come over and say eat some of my butter. What the fuck? Don't say bud after it either. Hey, bud.
Hey,
You
bud.
want to lick up some
I
of my
wonder what
butter?
Slacks would be like high. I wonder sometimes.
That's a normal question everyone always asks me. Oh, I want to see you drunk. I want to see you high. You want to know why you want to see that? Because you want me to be back on your fucking level, you goddamn troglodytes. I'll never sink that low. My brain is a fucking temple, and it will never be affected.
Slacks.
Anyway, good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Looking good, guys.
All right. Well, I guess that does it. You'll find this on Moonduck YouTube and shit. We'll do another one of these in a couple months. If TI happens, maybe we'll do another one around there. That's it. Any other parting words? Sunsfan? You want to plug your
Goodbye.
game? No. Okay.
Gentleman, The Gentleman. I'll plug that movie.
Okay.
The Gentleman.
All
If you wanna impress your wife by showing her more attractive people than you and sitting there bored, watch The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
Isn't that like
you
every
wanna-
movie you
subtitles.
watch, though?
Don't be an idiot.
Oh, I want to.
Subtitles for a reason.
If you've never played Bastion, it's like $3 or something. On Steam.
Whoa!
Big fan. If you, you
Hell
know,
yeah.
good
That's
game.
a steal. That's a steal.
Buy the
steal.
soundtrack. What a fucking.
Oh, excellent soundtrack.
All right.
There,
All right.
That's my shill.